Hey, what's up, kids? Welcome to another episode of Legions Lounge, episode 101. We're starting at 1. I feel like we're starting at 1. We got to hit another 100. Where we talk about all things Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, Figura Obscura, Infinite Legions, customs, and other Mythic adjacent action figures and stuff. We are your hosts. My name is Trevor, 16shooter on Instagram. With me, as always, Nate Strong at Corona4 on Instagram, and Bill Drewnowski from the Dorklair at the Dorklair or at Dorklair, depending on where you are. Boys, how are you? Are you not wearing a hat specifically because of shooting the shelf last night there, Nate?
Yeah, you said all I do is wear a hat, wear glasses, and drink. So, and he says I never say anything, so prepare not to get a word in edgewise tonight, guys.
Go ahead, Nate. You're in
I got a lot of
charge.
stuff to talk about.
Go ahead.
Just don't ask me to read who's in the chat or super chats because I can't fucking see now. So.
No, go ahead. You can intro us the whole thing. Okay. Before we get started, please take a second.
Yeah. Before we get started, it'd be great if you guys could take a sec to like, subscribe. You guys know the drill. Sorry, I'm eating right now, but
less people know I'm here.
Yeah, less people
lets me know that we're here. I don't know how that works.
Something like that. I don't know.
Super chats always appreciated.
See, I always appreciated. Very, very generous. Yeah, they help us run the show. Pays for StreamYard, all the amazing giveaways, the shipping, covers all stuff like that.
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
it helps.
It helps.
Excellent. Perfect.
All right. Enough of that, guys. I can't see and I feel half naked.
To understand any of this and possible waffle talk later on, please watch Shooting the Shelf last night. And every week, honestly, because they are on every week. Better. Anyway, so tonight, we got a super chat already. Nate, you know what? I'll read the chat tonight because that's you don't have to do that every time. Bill, why don't you read the chat?
All right, well, let's start with the super chat. So, Curtis Akerman, art by Akerman, excellent YouTube channel, by the way. Yes. Welcome all to Gradduk's Lounge. Happy to have you all here.
Yeah,
we control whether or not we bring him up or down, right? Like we control that. All right, let's scroll back up to the top. Kirby's in the house. Jesse's here. Just shelled it. Wholesome Warlock. Crom 316. Blake. Rob Zamora. J Mac. Michael Casper. Benny Torres. Collecting Brothers. Tom Williams. Dave Workin. Jesse Marshall. Brian Carr. William Husted. James Samudio, Tanya McCoy, Stacy Lynn, Kevin McCoy,
hey, happy birthday,
Mr. Ryan Clark,
Mr. Ryan Clark,
Benny Torres,
you call him Mr. Ryan Clark,
Thomas Belay, Greg is here, Gregor.
Hey.
Let's see who else. Jen, Darla, Dylan.
Darla.
Who else?
The better
Steph is here, action figure girl. Dave is here.
Hey, Dave actually recognized my shirt. That's a rare thing.
What's it say? Oh, Thin Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy.
Oh, nice.
Where am I? Carver Customs. Did I say Carver yet? I
don't think so.
Mark R. Eduardo De Jesus.
Hey,
Ghost Elf.
Ghost Elf.
Terrence and Paul. There we go.
All right,
what's up, everybody.
What's going on?
I was watching the Latin Legions yesterday. They were playing a bunch of games. Always fun. Always fun to play those games. Those guys. I don't know how they come up with all that stuff, man. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. I mean, like you always say, I put effort. I mean, I don't know. Maybe on the surface it looks like I do, but those guys are putting together games, man. Like 3 or 4 of them every episode. It's crazy.
Yeah, catch those guys live one of these days.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So tonight, kids, we're talking D&D and we're playing D&D. So we all know that Mythic Legions is coming out with their own 5e, which we'll explain in a minute, version of Mythic Legions, the role-playing game. we're not going to be playing in that world, but we've been playing a Legions quest since before this was announced, unofficially within the world of Mythoss. And so we're going to be playing a game later on. We're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to talk a little about the game. We're going to introduce some people. We're going to answer some questions, and then we're going to play a game. And then within that game, live, if there's some pertinent questions, we'll break. It's tough to break character and get out of your head when you're playing this game. But we will try to answer some questions or show you some pertinent things if they come up and help people out.
If you roll like a 15 or greater, we will answer your question. So
that's good. That's a good idea.
Just on honor system.
So just put a number up there, roll a die. If you got a 20-sided die at home, roll it, put your number up there, and if it's 15 or higher, we'll answer your question. The honor system. All right. Let's bring on our guests and our players from the off-world. It's what is the channel?
Let's go
Let's go off-world. I want to say it's just off-world. Let's go off-world channel that we play a Legions quest on every other week, basically. Let's bring on our GM, Game Master, Joe Gonsalves. There he is.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to another episode sponsored by the Let's Go Off-World podcast channel.
That's right. Podcast is in there.
It's
Let's Go Off.
Yeah, that's a dude thing.
Yeah.
Let's Go Off-World
podcast, even though it's on YouTube and it's generally video and not a podcast, right?
I think he just likes to say wherever pods are cast. That's kind of like his catchphrase. So.
And this is a person who's never on the show too. So
that is correct. Yes.
Does he publish it to where pods are cast?
No.
Does he publish it to
Legions Quest is on audio podcast.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
Legions Quest is, but that's because Jesse does it. The rest of it isn't. I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. I think he just.
Well, we'll find out.
But yeah.
You know him. Welcome. You know him. You love him from Shooting the Shelf, playing Camellia Nettlesbough. Jesse Arnold.
Nettlesbough.
And
Nettlesbough.
Not to be confused with Nettlesbum.
Don't correct the GM, Jesse. Come on, man. You know better than that.
That's gonna come back to
it's
haunt
my
you
character. I'll correct you on pronunciation. My character.
Playing the orc, and a kind of a minor character in the whole thing, really, but Gradduk Hellsgrim. Curtis Akerman, the inevitable one.
There he is.
That's your other character.
Doing the princess wave.
Well, welcome, kids.
Prima donna.
It's fun to see you guys and not just be like, we're like usually shooting the shit right now and just talking crap before we get started with the game. But we're live, and we've done this. Have we done this a couple times now on It's Off-World?
Once. Yeah, we've done like two. I think this will be the third live.
This will be the third live. Yeah. Yep.
Joe doesn't like the lives. Joe hates the lives.
That is correct.
Yeah, we'll preface that up front. Joe doesn't like lives. Joe, why don't we like lives?
Well, because when we're playing, I like everybody to be focused and in character, and the chat can be a distraction. Now, we've done a couple lives,
but we're all professionals.
So. The chat hasn't been a distraction. Everybody has been, professional enough, and but this is a special occasion. So if we need to answer questions in the chat, and so I'm expecting it this time around. So it's not
yes, Curtis, are you waving or are you raising your hand?
No, I'm raising my hand.
Oh, okay. It wasn't doing this. Okay.
No, I'll wait.
Go ahead.
Just a little suggestion. I know we don't want to get too distracted by the chat, but people may have a good question. Maybe we only read super chats.
I'm okay with super chats. Yeah, we're having a little fun. If you want to put your number before the super chat that you rolled on your D20, or just do a super chat. Super chats will definitely get read. We will read super chats during the game for sure. Good call. Yeah, I mean, while we're playing, make sure it's something relevant. I mean, if you want to be a ball buster and just throw some shit up there, that's fine too. We'll pop it up. I mean, if you're making fun of, me passing out halfway through a battle, or that shit doesn't happen anymore, by the way, or whatever, whatever you want to do. Yeah, super chat it, and we'll pop it up there. If it's a question, we'll try to answer it.
We are going to have 8 hours of us just taking a long rest. So probably during that time, we could probably.
Yeah, if you want to get a snack during
chats.
that, we play like real time. So like if we're taking an 8-hour nap, we all take an 8-hour nap, and some of us start
that's
a fire.
dedication.
We'll pick up around 4 a.m. Like the action will really get going. But
no, it's gonna be an interesting episode, and if you haven't watched the rest of the episodes, I encourage you to do so. It's been fun, and I think we've gotten progressively better at playing, better at our characters, and things like that.
But yeah, Joe has put together an amazing story. He's an awesome GM, DM.
Oh,
so
I don't know about that, but
alone,
you guys have definitely grown over the course. When we started, a lot of you didn't even know the rules, hadn't played role-playing games in many, many years. Nate just forgets every 2 weeks.
But, we all forget a little bit. I mean, there's a lot to remember, but
even the pros on Critical Role go, what is role? What am I doing?
That makes me feel good when I watch some of the pro shows. Yeah.
It's like when you see a pro hit up, into the sand trap. It's like,
exactly. That's me.
Right. Yeah. And that is pretty common, but you guys have gotten so much, like I can tell now that the rules aren't at the forefront. Like you guys are role playing your characters, and when we get into combat, it's a smooth transition. Everybody has a pretty good idea what they're doing, and that's just normal growth through experience. But if you watch the playlist, you can definitely see the growth of the group, everyone, including myself over time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've gotten into a groove of a story. So let's talk a little bit about, before we jump into the RPG, the Four Horsemen Archery. I'm sorry, Nate, you wanted to.
Well, I was just going to make
expound on that
comment. Just that even though we've been playing for how many weeks it's been, to me, I still look at this game as being, it's pretty simple in some ways, but very complex in others. And I think that was part of the reason why I hadn't played up until this point in my 56 years on this planet. It's just, to me, it was a little daunting and overwhelming and complex, let alone I really didn't have a group to do it with. But don't let that deter you. Find a group. Obviously we do it all virtually, and you can learn. You get a great GM, DM, and players to play with. You can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea I was going to be so great at it, and just
come on, you're great at everything.
Like the rise to superstardom. I was not expecting it. So, yeah.
And none of us were. We're still not, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems daunting at first, but it's if you have to have that person who kind of, that GM, DM, whatever you want to call them, dungeon master, game master. Game master, what, Joe, is the more robust version, so that you can play any game, not just D&D.
Dungeon master,
D&D, it's gotten to be like game master too, because
dungeon master is a copyrighted term. It's by Dungeons and Dragons, so it is specifically for Dungeons and Dragons. Game master is the generic term. You are the master of games when you're running.
Right.
So
I mean,
between Joe and Jesse, who's
every
years.
Thank you, Thomas.
I don't know that every game has as experienced of a game master as ours, but it's been nice, for those of us that are kind of in this for the first time, because not only is he crafting a really good story and keeping it moving and fun, but then also when we have problems with our character or leveling up or just different things that we don't understand, like he's able to kind of help us navigate through that and stuff. So if you're getting a group together, even if you just have one knowledgeable person that has played before, that has some experience, as long as you can lean on that one person, I think you'll be in pretty good shape.
Yeah. And like I said, we've got two with Jesse too. He's been awesome. So,
and if you are that person, I'll get to the super chat in a second. If you are that person, it's kind of the fun part. You're the storyteller. Like that's what the GM DM is. Like, you're telling a story that you're allowing other people, the characters in the story, to kind of guide where it goes. There's ways that you can, manipulate things as to where they go, and you learn that kind of stuff. But if you're into that, like if you want to tell stories, and you're into the reading and rules and things like that, this is a great game for you, man. This is a great, and being a GM is a lot of fun. It's something I really want to try out after watching Joe do his thing for sure. Legends Collector, what's up, buddy? $4.99. Dylan, as the #1 fan and supporter of Allegiance Quest. I didn't realize that, Dylan. I'm very happy.
Day one, yeah,
he is.
Awesome.
He has been there along with 3 or 4 other people. I'm very happy y'all are doing this. You will each be graded on your performance critically. Oh wow. Okay. Thank you very much.
Hey, I do want to tack on to what you're saying about game mastering and things like that. Don't be afraid if you haven't done it before. Granted, maybe you shouldn't do a live show on YouTube. If you're
no, definitely not.
But if you're playing just you and your friends, you guys can stop and look up rules during the game and things like that. It's not a big deal. Yeah. I encourage everybody to try it out. I started when I was 15 with 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Nerd alert.
Yeah, that system was super complex. And when it was just me and my friends and we didn't have an experienced person, we would stop and look up rules and things like that. And that's normal. Eventually you get used to how things work and can go from there. So yeah, I encourage everyone to try it anyways, even if you don't have someone with experience. It's still a ton of fun.
This is for me, this is a lifelong aspirational achievement, because I got the red and blue basic and AD&D box sets for Christmas one year, and I won't even say what year that was, but it was a while ago. Sometime in the 30s, I think. And I read those books like they were religious texts. Okay, like I carried them everywhere with me. I thought about them all the time in school and things like that. And I really wanted to put together this thing, and I just didn't know anybody. I was in this weird, between nerd and metal cool kids type of weird world. So I didn't know anybody who wanted to play this game. So I never got to play it. That's not true. I did play it a couple times with a couple people, but never really got deep into a game. It's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. If you are, and there's different ways to play. Some of us do some voices, some of us don't. You don't have to. If I think a lot of people come into this from watching Critical Role or Roll20 or the Dungeon Dudes or something like that, and there's various levels of competent, voiceover actors. Critical Role is all voiceover actors. They're actors and they're voiceover actors, so they can do all sorts of voices. They can act. They're really into the role playing aspect of it, and they have the guy who wrote an entire game system, managing their game. So everything isn't going to be like that. You know what I mean? It's not. You don't have to aspire to that level. It's just having fun with your friends. And if you don't do voices, it's cool. If you're just yourself, that's cool too.
The voices don't have to be good, as I've proven over and
as
over.
you will witness shortly.
And you don't have to watch all that stuff either. I don't watch any of those shows because, I kind of naturally gifted when it comes to this, I found, and I don't want, watching others to kind of sway my performance or anything like that. So,
such a mistake.
There's a bunch of rolling eyes in the chat right now.
Can we get rolling eyes? Can we get the rolling eye emoji? Rolling eye emoji.
Kirby does have a quick question though. Not sure if you can, with the NDA, will let you say, but does Allegiance D&D have solo play modules adventures? I didn't even know that was a thing.
It is a thing. I can't say. I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably something that will come down the line. I mean, this is launching, so you're going to expect to get what can I say here? You're going to, there's going to be adventures, adventure books and things like that, but you're probably going to expect something for a group of people, which is generally how it's played. But hey, if there's a clamor for solo adventures, I'm absolutely positive somebody will either on the Four Horsemen side or on the in the community side will put something together like that.
Yeah,
I'll just say that
was a thing.
The modern age of technology. Yeah, there's a bunch of different kinds. I know there's some that you play with like a deck of cards. And it's kind of like going through a dungeon and the deck of cards will tell you what's going to happen. You can even do it for a group without a GM, and the deck of cards you shuffle them and then it tells you what happens next, things like that. But with the modern age of the internet and the connectivity that we have here, hopefully most people won't have to play solo.
Play with themselves.
They won't have to play with themselves. They will have friends to play with.
Yeah, we're going to go into some ways to play. I mean, we're getting a little bit ahead, but it's okay. We're going to talk about it. So we play on D&D Beyond. There are a bunch of what is the term for these, Joe? These are
virtual tabletops.
Systems. So there's D&D Beyond, which is obviously being the creators of D&D. That's the biggest one. But there are others out there that you can play. Roll20 is another one. But there are a bunch of others that you can use to roll your characters, have your character sheets saved online. You can keep all your notes there, and the DM or GM can run their game from them. They can put maps up and things like that. You'll see this stuff during the game. D&D Beyond. I think many of them are free to a certain degree, to a certain level. D&D Beyond, you can create, I think, up to 5 characters and play them for free. Joe, is that a free thing with GMs, or do you have to pay for something with?
I pay for it for the highest.
You
tier.
do pay for it, but do you have to pay for it?
I'm not sure because I've always paid for it. I wanted all the options. I don't remember. It's been so long now, but even the highest level tier is only like $5 and something cents a month. So
I like that last comment by Kirby. Having a Joe as a virtual GM. That'd be cool.
On the VHS tape.
I mean, we can AI Joe, and Joe can just be like everywhere with. I know. No, I'm sorry.
Careful what you wish for.
Sorry,
and we'll be like, why do you have so many fingers?
I know. Well, if you haven't met Joe in person, he actually has 6 fingers. So
I'm the 6-fingered man. Yes,
that's right. This is D&D Beyond. It's just
what?
What? Excuse me. This is dndbeyond.com, and you can go on here. You can play a lot of different. You can buy the books virtually. The player's guide. I think is it free on here or
the core rules. The core rules are free.
Rules are free.
Any of the books, yeah.
So you can get the core rules for free, and then if you want the books, this happens to be the 2024. Version of it, which is the new rules. We're not playing by these rules. These are brand new, and there's some things that were changed in here that are, here's the thing though, Joe, like I know when the last version came out, there was a lot of consternation about that. So there's consternation about every iteration that's come out, and there's been like 6 or 7 of them over the years. Correct. Maybe more. And everybody's
if
everybody
this is 5th edition. So the 2014 rules are 5th edition, but there's been like 3rd edition had a 3.5.
Right.
And I think that 2024 version, are they calling it like 5.1 or something for 5.5?
I don't even know.
I'm not sure, but
I don't even know. I think it's something like that. But I mean, with every edition that comes out, there's somebody who played the last one or played the one before that for years and years, and it's just like that's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and this sucks. So, I guarantee in 3 years, 2024 will be fairly widely adapted and being played. So,
one of the things that you can do on there too, that's probably Joe's favorite, is you can purchase virtual dice. So you can have different sets of virtual dice while you're playing the game. Yeah.
And what's the coolest thing about them is that only you can see them. So that way you pay money for something that other people can't see, which is really, really cool.
So that looks something like let's look something like this.
Ooh. Very nice. Rolled a 1. That's cool.
And that's Lord Soth from Dragon.
Get those out of the way now.
So yeah, really.
Yeah, get it out of your
So
system.
a 1 would be a terrible roll, and that's a 6. That's not great either.
And
one
that's
would be called a critical
standard
fail.
Yeah,
That's a critical fail. And a 20 is a critical
success.
hit.
Success.
So, Jesse, can you give an example of like what something would be in the game that you could have a critical fail on, and what the result would be?
Oh man, that is hard. You are just harsh.
No, actually, really easy, fairly an inconvenience. Say the DM or the GM is giving your character, who is not a barbarian, not like a strength-based character, a strength roll to see if you can cut through a rope, or to like cut your friend, maybe they're tied up in a pirate ship or something, and you got to swing a hatchet to chop the rope, and you have to roll a strength-based roll. So you'd roll your die, and you get a 1. Even if you have a bonus to your strength, it's a critical failure. So the way I've always played is it's kind of up to the DM how they want to enact that. Sometimes
this is
it
where
could
the
be
storytelling comes in play. Like you cut
so
the rope, but you miss the rope and you cut his arm.
Well, or you swing so hard and you get the axe, the hatchet gets stuck in the the mast, right, and you completely miss the rope and you can't get the axe back out. Or
right,
you swing so hard and it snaps the handle of the axe. Or if you're fighting someone and you get your sword caught in like a pillar or something, and depending on the stakes and the DM could result in some bad stuff.
So basically the whole thing is a story, and the dice help determine in certain points where the story goes.
Right. The dice are the random luck, randomness of life within the game itself. So let's go back to point 0 then and talk a little bit. And we're going to get going. I'm going to try and wrap this up in like 15-20 minutes. Joe or Jesse, or both of you, like, give us a little overview of role play, D&D specifically. Like, this is what we're going to be playing in the Mythic Legions. I'm going to bring up the Mythic Legions game so we can talk a little bit about this. But what is this? Like, how do you play this game? This is not a game that necessarily has you fold out a board and you go from point A to point B and point C, and then you win when you get to X. This could be going on. There's been people playing campaigns for a dozen years or more. It's like it just can keep going, and it's a story, right? I mean, like, you're telling kind of a story within and playing a game within it.
Yeah, I would imagine. So this is the theater of the mind. The players will create characters that their abilities are determined by their stats, through dice roll or point buy, and the abilities of the class that they choose. So you'll choose a race, and this is D&D. You choose a race and a class. So, for example, you could be an orc fighter. Orcs as a race have certain abilities, and then fighters have certain abilities. You build those, and then a game master will tell a story, and you embody the character yourself, and take that character on adventures, hopefully on adventures, if your GM is pretty good. So, and it is a lot like a video game. It would be a precursor. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like video games are like a digital version of this, is what I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can throw in something here, Joe.
Absolutely.
And you can play D&D or pretty much any other tabletop, but we're focusing on D&D with as little, like Joe said, theater of the mind, with as little in front of you or as much as you want. You could do it on graph paper with, colored, just like little colored chips to represent your characters, or cardboard printouts of your characters. Or you could do, I think the D&D Beyond has like 3D virtual thing you could use, or use your Mythic Legions to move around on a map. As long as you establish the rules and, the format of your grid and how there's people who've been playing, on graph paper since the 70s and have never taken it beyond that. And then there's other people who've been playing as long that as more and more stuff comes, if you can play in person with physical terrain, where they build like an entire miniature that looks like a movie set that has the grid lines like faintly in there. So you know how to move your minis around the board. And it's a huge immersive thing. It just depends on everybody's ability and contributions to it. So
yeah,
you get
into you get out of it what you put into it.
In my home games, I don't have time to set up everything, because with my home group we play in person, and I don't have time to lay out maps and set up miniatures and things like that. And we do almost entirely theater of the mind, which is a little more work for the game master to keep track mentally of where everyone's at. But yeah, you don't even need maps. You don't have to have them. They just help a lot for when we're playing online, for everyone to be able to see.
For a good example of what it looks like to actually play with a physical map and minis and some terrain stuff, check out Cam, who's helming the Four Horsemen D&D game. Last year at Legions Con, set up games, and he did that. And I think at least one of the sessions, the first one was filmed, so you can go back and watch that. Is a great way to see what that's something like that's like.
And as far as I know, that will be happening this year at Legions Con as well. There'll be some sessions. I don't know the specifics, if we'll be getting like experienced players. I know they want some people who've never played before to join up too. So, stay tuned for that kind of stuff. William says, how much does Magic play a part? I would say a big part of D&D.
Depends on what characters you pick.
and what your level is. But no, Magic's big, man. Like there's a lot. Yeah. If you're a barbarian, probably not much at all. That all depends on what type of character you're playing, kind of race you're playing. Not so much the race, but just kind of what kind of character you're playing, right, Joe? If you're a wizard, you're a necromancer. Not a necromancer. What are the other types? A cleric.
Most there's actually very few classes that don't have some type of magical ability.
Ranger,
even
magic.
Yep. And there's different types of magic. There's arcane and divine magics. If you're a ranger, you can cast spells at certain levels. Paladins, use divine magic also. Even fighters can take a subclass that allows them to cast spells where they're like basically a fighter wizard combination.
Or even use magic weapons that they may find which give them some sort of magic element treasure, or ability that this goes beyond their natural abilities. So there's a lot of magic, and it all depends on too. Like the thing with D&D is like there's different worlds. So the Mythic Legions world is going to be based on Mythoss and the lore that's being built around these characters. You can play Forgotten Realms, and I think Magic's big in there too. But there are different flavors of worlds that you can create within here that may have magic at different levels. Like magic is disappearing from the world, or magic makes everything move. You know what I mean? Like it's like almost like cyberpunk, or not cyberpunk, but steampunk. But magic makes everything work. So it all depends on the flavor of the world that you're playing in. But you can do whatever you want. You can make whatever you want. You can make it your own, even if you're playing within a set of rules. If you're the GM, you can take it off the grid and do whatever you want, really.
Absolutely.
Curtis?
I know it's not the same as playing the game, but did want to throw out there, because I know a few of us have played and enjoyed Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
So for anybody that is into video games, I would say that is a good way to at least kind of pick up on some of the the rules and different things for D&D, even just like how to roll in certain situations and taking a long rest and all that kind of stuff. Like you can get a good feel for it by playing that game. So if it's something that you're into video games, I feel like it helped to give me a little bit of a head start. So I wasn't starting completely from scratch when we got into this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, it's the rules, it's D&D just spiced up a little bit to be more exciting for a video game, but the core of it is still there. Like you're playing D&D.
Yeah.
And I think a good place to go, like it looks like I should do some research before I get started, would be to just go back and watch the Legion's Quest episodes and just get a sense of like, okay, here's what it looks like when, two brand new players or three brand new players, you guys were, right? And then Jesse and who's experienced, and then Joe, the DM. And just like, here's what it looks like when some new players mixed with some experienced players start playing and start learning the game.
Our show definitely wasn't as polished as some others, but if you want to see people getting started and kind of struggling, like
that's other shows, you're not going to get that with those other shows.
Right.
Yeah. Not as many questions about the rules. Yeah. Not as many questions about the rules and things like that. And us asking, so it is a little raw, but it's still fun. And it's still like, if you're learning, it's a good way to learn, to watch people asking those type of questions. So I
love this comment from Jay too. Playing with families, always so much fun. It really inspires children's imagination.
Yeah.
They love drawing their characters, etc. Imagination is so important for the next generation.
I play Dungeons and Dragons with all my kids,
Nice.
All three of my boys. Yeah.
The first game I ever played was a super short one-off kind of campaign with the five of us in my family that my daughter ran. It was a blast.
Yeah, that's right. So one of the things I want to stress on the Mythic Legions role-playing game too is that, and what we've done is create, at least all people in the Legion's Quest game have created their own characters from the figures. We all know on this channel the the pop and swap ability of these characters, and we're hoping when this thing launches that people will be into kind of creating their own characters. Where else can you do this? What other system has its own action figures that you can create your own avatar and possibly even play with the figures. So that's going to be, I think, a big part of this aspect of Mythic Legions, the role-playing game, for sure.
Love this too. My friend ran a game with seniors and said it was a blast. They came up with some pretty great ideas. That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, that's it's multi-generational, man. Totally. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Kirby did ask if I'm joining the party. Yes, today. I don't know if I can commit to every week because it's every other Monday, so it would lock up my Monday nights. So I'm not sure if I can do it. But we'll see.
So Bill is playing with us. We are doing a test run of the Mythic Legions role-playing game. We're not broadcasting that yet because we're testing out the system. There's some proprietary things in there. So we're recording all that. That stuff may come out later on. But we are playing within that system. But and Bill is part of that. But we wanted, of course, Bill's with us here every week or every other week, Curtis. And we wanted to have him included in this game. So he's going to be kind of a walk-on character in this episode. And who knows? Maybe we'll run into him later on down the line in Legion's Quest as well.
Or maybe we kill him.
Maybe one of us has an inclination to killing our own, player characters and NPCs.
I was just trying to make a vague threat. I wasn't trying to insinuate anything about anybody.
Hey, maybe he needs a warrior's death. You never know.
Sure.
Bill's gonna be like Harrison Ford in Star Wars.
Like,
just kill me off. I've done enough.
Do we need a recap for folks on kind of where we are, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of just show my player character sheet here. So this looks like a lot to people, but you will quickly adapt to what all this stuff means, and it's not stuff that you have to fill in by yourself. You're taking step by step through a character creation, and it is fun. You know what I mean? It's really fun to create your character and to create their background. You can think about their past, where they've come from, how they got to the point where they're, where they are right now. It shouldn't be all doom and gloom.
You know, something for anybody that hasn't used this before, a lot of these things on the screen here that Trevor's got, like you can just click on it and that'll create a roll. So like if Joe were to say, you know, give me an athletics roll or give me a deception roll or whatever, like you just go to where that section is and you click on it and it's going to roll that die.
Right. So, I mean, we're not going to go into all of this stuff, but, you know, you pick your strength. This gives you, you know, for things that require, for activities that require strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence. If you're trying to influence someone, you want to get through a door or to a town or something like that. And they're like, who are you? Well, that may be charisma as well. Like, that could be your charisma to do that. But intelligence might be, you know, you maybe have to, I don't know, Joe, what would you do? Like, break a lock or figure out a puzzle or something like that? Or
the most important thing is your character is a wizard, so intelligence is the modifier that applies to your spells. So
there you go. You can learn spells easier or recall them. Things like that.
The enemy's saving throws are more difficult the higher your intelligence is.
Right. So if I've got a spell that causes an enemy to have to roll a certain number in order to avoid my spell, more intelligence will help me, and that's a higher number that they have to reach to get to that. Wisdom, charisma. So all these things can be rolled on. Like I think Curtis's example, I think it was Curtis or Bill, said athletics. Like, okay, I want to jump up on this ledge and I want to, you know, swing this rope down to somebody or something. So I would roll an athletics check. Ooh, I would get a 19. That's not a natural 20. That's a 19 plus 1 because my athletics. Wait a minute. What is that? What is that at?
Strength. Yeah.
Strength or dexterity? Dexterity, right?
Strength. No, athletics is strength.
Strength. Okay. So that would add my plus 1 from strength to the 19 that I rolled, and that would give me a 20. Yeah. That's a pretty good roll. So like chances are I would make that. I would be able to leap up on that ledge and swing that rope to whatever to grab somebody that was below or something.
I do have a question on that for Joe because I've always wondered this. When you say like we'll ask, you know, hey, can we do this or whatever, and you'll say, well, give me a, you know, whatever, give me an athletics check. Do you already have a number in mind that we have to hit? Because like we'll roll a number and then you'll go based on that and then whatever. But like,
generally I do. It's kind of an old role-playing rule to say don't say no assigned difficulty.
Okay.
So if you're like, I want Gradduk to pick up this 10-foot boulder and throw it down the cliff, you know, then I'm gonna go, okay, then he needs like a 19 to do that because it's super difficult. But if you're like, can I jump over the bar to hide behind it to use as cover against the guys with bows and arrows? That's not that difficult. I'm probably going to assign an 11 or a 13, you know, difficulty.
So I would say generally the DM would like come up, like if you say like, I want to do this. And while they're saying that, this is where the GM is kind of the author, right, of the story. Like, okay, how difficult is that thing based on the person, their abilities, the situation, pressure that they're under, right? Things like that. And say,
10 is the base. 10 is the baseline.
Okay.
So 10 is like if it's a simple check, like something.
And this is out of a D20, so that's halfway. That's a 50% chance.
So you know, an easy check, flipping over a table. If I wanted you to make a check to flip over a table, that's easy. Just about anybody can tip over a table. I'm going to set the difficulty at 10. You know, and then for it as a check to do a strength. So if it's athletics, it'll be strength. Gradduk is going to have a much easier time than Eénsek doing any type of strength-based check. So, you know, you might go to flip the table over and then you roll low and you pull a muscle in your back and you're like, oh, I guess that table's not going anywhere.
Yeah, like that's a 7. That's a 7.
Right.
Like, oh, you tripped and you couldn't get the table and it just kind of rolled to the side and you didn't get behind the table.
You grab it and felt gum underneath the table and was like, ew. You can be creative
selling me at all.
So I was going to mention a couple things. So as you can see, when Trevor's rolling, D&D Beyond, for the most part, does the math for you, right? So if you're playing with a physical sheet of paper and you've had your character sheet, you would roll your dice, and then you'd have to look. Oh, I have to add one, and you have to do a simple math for the most part. But the other comment I was going to say is like William said, I got to do some research, just like with pretty much anything in life now. Go to YouTube University, and you can break it down to the most basic little things that say, what's it like to play a rogue, or and you'll just find a 10-minute video on just here's how to play a rogue. It's just, or you can dive into what is charisma mean. I mean, anything. You can find a YouTube video on it.
That's cool. I didn't know you did that, man. You just
yeah
great.
For young kids, which I give them a ton of credit for, because it takes more patience than I probably
definitely yeah. So
if you take the choose your own adventure aspect of it, and you don't get to choose. It's like, well, I want to go to page 40 for this thing, and then you're like, oh, that was dumb, I'm going to go back and go to the other page. Like with the dice, it's more like,
all the time.
I'm going to try to do this. The dice tell you whether you accomplish it or not based on the DM and the situation and everything.
And that's life, right? Like, I mean, you go to swing the sword and you slip, in the water or the blood that's on the floor. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that's what the DM's job is.
If you're Greg.
To think about exactly. Well, you twist an ankle. But that's the DM's job, to think about the situation. It's like, well, the reason that you didn't hit this was because, to keep the story going, you slipped on all the blood that's on the floor, and your sword just kind of swings a little high and misses the character. So if I'm swinging a long sword, this gives me the +4. This is what Nate was talking about. Like, you have to think about this, but this actually adds the 4. So I got an 8. An 8 on a longsword, depending on the enemy's hit point or armor class, may or may not hit. We'll get into that in a little while. Hit. It's probably not going to hit.
You might hit Henry if he's standing still.
Well, if it's like I was going to say, if it's like a donkey or a mouse or something like that, you might be able to hit him. So yeah. So that's that, kids. That's kind of a quick intro to the game.
Just the other part of swinging for damage. The other to hit is rolling for damage. So then after that, right next to that stat is for damage.
Let's say I had
usually
hit this,
smaller dice.
I can slash. I will hit this, and this is the damage I would have inflicted had I hit that donkey.
And it automatically adds the modifier.
Right, usually the +1. Yep.
And we really don't know when we're battling different enemies how many points of damage they can take. So Joe, or your DM or GM will let us know, like, oh, hit, cut him deep, but he's still up, or now he's kind of wobbling. You kind of get to know, like,
pull up the comment from your brother.
Yeah, I saw that. It was funny.
Because then if you make the GM mad, sometimes they'll just drop a meteor on your head in the middle of the game.
A meteor what?
Yeah, exactly.
Frozen meteor what?
Like kangaroo, bison.
Yeah, like
and it's not even that the
definitely
GM was
frozen
irritated. Sometimes you just need to make adjustments so that you can get through a certain part.
Please don't hit dogs or hot dogs. We're not hitting dogs. Nobody's hitting dogs.
Gradduk might.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing right now. Playing right now. We're gonna play right now.
Too.
Like I think we're done, right? I mean, I think that's kind
we
of
we need a recap, but yeah,
recap.
We do
20
need a
episode recap.
I need a quick bathroom break before we get into like a 2-hour session here.
That's probably a good idea.
All right. Well, why don't you and Big and Jesse, and then we can all go to the bathroom.
You guys, Bill, you have control here, right? So you can do what you need to do, and I will be right back. And Jesse will catch us up on what's been happening.
Am I doing the catch up, or wait until you guys, because you guys aren't going to know what's happening?
Well, you
gotta catch them
the
up.
wide overview of what's happened since the beginning.
I'll save the last session recap for when you guys are all back. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Be right back.
Come with now on a journey through time and space. back to the beginning of a Legion's quest.
Real quick interjection. Can I just ask?
Yeah.
When did you guys start? Was it a year ago now, or was it not quite that long ago?
Let me check my notes. I believe I have dates on these things.
Oh wow!
I do not have on the early ones.
Okay.
I could probably check the post and see when we posted it, but it's
a
been close
year.
to a year.
Yeah.
It's close to a year.
Has it been that
Because
long?
this is the 21st session. There's been some times where we've played, 2 weeks back to back, or we've, we haven't played this game in a month because just life happens and stuff. And that's the recurring joke for those of you who don't know. Scheduling D&D sessions is the hardest part about playing D&D.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So way back. So as Joe said, or Trevor, or whoever said, we are playing. This is an unofficial Mythic adventure. So we're playing it in our own version of Mythos. This was before they announced the game, so we didn't have any of the official rules. So, we have some characters. We've done some of the homebrew things where we've tweaked some characters, and Joe's been writing stuff from some of the character lore of the Mythic Legions characters and settings, and then making up his own stuff because, the map we have is pretty sparse on the details of towns and settings at the moment. So started long ago in the Guild of the Five Heroes in a town called Berlan, located in southern Etheros. So the four of us, so my character, Camellia, she is a Fuzzmunk Ranger. Curtis is playing Gradduk, Hellsgrim, a half-orc barbarian. Trevor is Eénsek Glaaspell. He might be correcting me on this, but he is some sort of elf wizard.
Frost elf.
And it was a frost elf, but he has talked about possibly changing that. So since his one is all green now. And Nate is Ferr Inand, a Minotaur. Minotaur paladin from Zylona's flock. So we came together in this Guild of the Five Heroes, which is kind of just this place where different missions and quests were assigned. People would come together, and we got assigned this task from Callum, who is the head of the guild, and to go meet with a lady in town called Lady Belush. She was a very well-off person in town, to escort her manservant and a curmudgeon-y old fellow named Cremone, and a small package that he was delivering to Lady Belush's daughter many leagues away in a city called Rakshesh.
Who's getting married.
Who is getting married. And this was a wedding gift to give to her for her wedding. We were outfitted with our gear. We set out on, and there were some interactions with. I'm not going to get too into all the details to take forever, but there was struggles along the way. Cremone was very a very pampered house manservant from the house, so like being out sleeping in the woods and doing all this stuff. He was, and he had his very specific way of wanting to do things, and it just took a long time to get him acclimated to stuff. And he was annoying, but he kind of became our annoying guy. And along the way, we encountered many adventures and dangers. From we got attacked by like a giant frost wolf. We got
forget about that.
There were some bandits, and we met a young woman who had lost her father in like this attack. And there were like skeletal minotaurs and other things. And we started hearing things about, Necronominus. And we were like, whoa, we don't know. Like, why is Necronominus coming up? He's been destroyed a long time ago. And we ended up traveling with this young woman, Tira, and her wagon. She has a donkey named Henry, which became Gradduk's best friend. And we just made our way, and different things took us different places. We ended up encountering some of Gradduk's former clansmen from his orc tribe, and learned a little bit of his backstory. Got sidetracked to go reclaim the sword from a goblin who had been possessed.
I was talking to Trevor. He said I ran away, but I did not run away.
I'm telling the story.
He jumped in. You got to yell at him.
And you just came across some different artifacts, different rare items. We eventually found this old kind of wandering hermit who told us a little bit more about these 5 heroes from the Guild of the 5 Heroes, who we were representing the guild named after them. And we all got eventually. I think we all got pieces of armor or weaponry associated with them, or at least started to get some things.
Mm-hmm.
The item we were transporting woke up in the middle of the night and started to
You're right, Kirby.
Possess. What am I? No, I'm not. And the spectral spirit of this evil entity came out, and we were about to be obliterated, and this holy spectral light of a glowing
Phil Marin, right? Phil Marin? Oh,
no.
Poppet?
Tell him.
No.
That's not Poppet.
What are we talking about? Sorry,
the
we're
Xylona, a sigil, like a spirit of Xylona representation, like scared this evil entity away.
A glowing white stag.
Like a stag of white light, and saved us. We found out the ring was corrupted and was going to steal the life essence of whoever wore it. So we're like, oh, maybe Lady Belush was kind of messed up. We eventually get to this town. And we've been hearing, we got a threat from someone called the Bone Thrower. And there this seeds of things about Necronomus coming back, and as we get to the city of Rakshesh, we see that this whole graveyard has been risen, and all these skeletons are climbing out of the cemetery right side out of the city, and there's a force marching down from an old fort around the other side. And we get help and sneak in, and throw our efforts to help this town. After a couple of really harrowing battles, we help defeat the skeletal threat. Find some more interesting things, a passageway to this tunnel up to the old fort, which we eventually were given as repayment for helping save the town. And yes, there is a little goblin named Rugtug,
who's all about Camilla,
who is
he's sweet on her.
He's got a gem in his eye that allows him to see things through deceptions and things. So
Gemini.
He's come in. He's been very
Gemini. I like that.
Helpful, and he's been a good ally to the crew and in general. And I don't know what you guys are laughing about.
This is Kirby.
Let's see what else. And as we're trying to get things established in the town, things are kind of calming down, and Lady Belush shows up in this evil, corrupted form. We have to fight her. Gradduk kills Cremone, the old man who's been with us all along.
Death?
I mean, he told them something about pulling this necklace off, because there was something about the necklace, and we ended up saving the 2 other previous daughters of Lady Belush that had been corrupted, and something about blue and yellow gems and being connected to some distant evil plane.
Blue and yellow. What does that make you think of?
Ziploc bags.
And to wrap this up, we along the way, Gradduk we'd gotten to a fight with some bandits, and Gradduk, after Camilla, my character, punched a bandit in the face and knocked one of the tooth out, because I rolled really well. I wasn't trying to knock his teeth out. Gradduk took his hand as a threat.
Souvenir.
Because, and then, the poor guy, got a lisp and was missing a hand, and Gradduk was convinced that this guy had learned his lesson. Well, it turns out he got big mad, made some sort of deals. We don't know what. He got powers because he came back, killed the taxidermist who was trying to preserve the hand that Gradduk had been wearing as a rotten, stinking necklace for how many months.
It was annoying everybody.
And stuck it back on his own hand, so he has this shriveled, dead stump on his wrist now. And turned into a real problem because then he disguised himself, murdered a priest, stole some holy evil artifacts that we had just put in safekeeping with the priest at a temple
Big
of
mistake.
Xylona in this town.
The Eye of Erethyr, as I remember, right?
Yes, the Eye of Erethyr. And as we realized what was going on, we were rushing to get help. After we realized the priest was dead, and this is the last session, we run up to the doors of the cathedral. We hear screams, a body falls from the sky. We look up and see portals opening as swarms of Malfar demons swirling above. The bandit who had murdered the priest, whose hand Gradduk wore as a trophy for many weeks, erupts from the roof of the Belush house in a large explosion with the transformed figures of the Belush sisters now in full demon form, one blue and one yellow. He makes threats and summons hellfire goblins who, with a magic spell, quickly grow to the size of ogres from the bandits' powers. And our heroes fight them, quickly overcoming the monsters in combats. And we make a rush.
Really?
Yes. We make a rush to the host's home, the Belush home, to find Danabelle, the woman who was supposed to get married and get this.
The daughter.
Yeah. The daughter. She's injured. We get her stabilized and are taking her to Tira, the young lady we helped save on the road so far back with Henry the donkey, to the inn. And as we're leaving the home, we see that the Malfar demons, the swarms, are retreating back into the portals as they close. In this gray red sky, we see a massive eye, and a desiccated head of a fiery demon fills our vision. And a booming voice calls out, "The veil thins. I will be seeing you all again soon."
That was a really good recap.
That was fantastic.
Yeah,
that's
I don't think that Luis from Ant-Man could have done it better.
No, that was insane.
Yeah, but the only thing that you did miss, gotta give a little bit of feedback here. You did miss one thing, and that is at one point we got some potions from the lady that runs the alchemist shop. It's a busty woman, and we promised that
this is necessary.
Well, I mean, it's an important part
of the
story.
How about the fact that Cremone is stuck in like some hellish nightmare that you woke up to and found out that
we're gonna go help him. But you may have a date in the future, Eénsek, and the people should know.
I've been trying to have this
busty
date,
shop owner in your future.
The busty shop
so,
owner.
Yeah.
Looking forward to
in point of fact, to Curtis's point of fact, the reason Eénsek never made it to his date is because we encountered the bandit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you intercepted my mail.
I would say,
which is a federal offense.
When you watch that episode, if you watch that, do you know what episode that was? Anyway, there's an episode where Jesse and Camellia and Eénsek are going.
It's got to be 18 or 19
to check on something, and we encounter like a young boy who's given a message for Gradduk, and this is where I've since learned, like, if the GM's throwing something in your way, like, to like, hey, I'm going to do this, like, I'm my character's like kind of intrusive and wants to mysteries everywhere and stuff like that. So I was kind of playing up on that, but I didn't trust him, and we stopped Gradduk from going to the taxidermist where the guy attacked us. We went to the taxidermist instead. And that changed everything. But Joe did a great job of changing on the fly for the story that he had hoped to happen and the encounter that he hoped to have had. So that's the kind of stuff that happens. You know what I mean? Like, we intercepted that note and we decided to go there ourselves. So things changed up. Yeah.
I think that's the number one rule of running a game is go with it. You have to go with it,
but as a player, like, you also have to kind of take some cues. Like, the GM is putting something together for you. So, like, if he says
he's dangling carrots out there,
you might want to go east because there's a wind coming, and then you're like, now we're going west. It's like, you can do that, but it's like, obviously the cool thing is east, so let's all go east. You know what I mean? So be a good players too.
Yeah, that it is helpful. When people are designing games, if they're writing a story and have things planned out, it is helpful to have the characters go along with the story that you're trying to tell. Right. But of course, be ready for the characters to not go along with what you have planned, and it's good to have, you know, that flexibility to say, all right, I'm just going to run this encounter without the character who's supposed to be there, you know, and that way, you know, there might be a bit of information that you're going to drop that you'll just have to save till later, like how Gradduk ruined this guy's life, how his hand getting cut off got him kicked out of the thieves guild that he was in, you know, and because he lost his job, his wife left him, you know, and took the kids, and you know, he couldn't pay his rent and lost his home, and ended up, you know, and it was raining that day, and he just decided that the number one thing, you know, the only thing he has left to live for is revenge on Gradduk for cutting off his hand. You know, so.
Yep, that's how it happens.
He's doing a lot of stuff to other people besides Gradduk at this point. So
yeah, but it's all Gradduk's fault. So
yeah, so we can all blame him.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's our recap. As it stands, I think we are going to the inn with Lady Belush to try to get to Tira. She has a lot of healing potions, and we're going to try and help her out. And who knows what will happen along the way. So as we start,
and we're also hurting from the last couple fights.
We are. So we are probably going to. That's another thing. Aspect of this is
fights.
resting. So we will probably have to take our little rest here.
And that's important too. When you only play once every 2 weeks, if your characters are beat up, remind the GM because he might forget and do another encounter right away.
Exactly. Like I just look at my spell.
Oh, no, I forgot that you guys were almost dead.
Right. So you have like a number of spell slots and things like that as a magic user, and like if they're all used, you know you need a rest before you get into another battle. Otherwise, I'm going to be useless. All right. So we start this thing. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Ready?
This is the part where we're not supposed to talk, but somebody always does talk. So I'm going to be the person talking because Gradduk told me, or Curtis said I'd never talk, so I'm going to talk through this whole thing. So we're getting ready to play Legion's Quest, an unofficial Mythic adventure. It's an off-world presentation. We're going to be starting in 5, 4, 3,
Gradduk's
2,
Quest.
1. Here we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Legion's Quest, brought to you by the Let's Go Off-World podcast channel on YouTube. Today, we are on A Legion's Lounge, giving everyone an example of what we do on A Legion's Quest. And yeah, Curtis, go ahead.
Ready.
Can somebody move Joe up to Bill's spot? Because it just feels wrong without Joe up in the middle. There we go.
Yes.
The rest I don't care about, but we got to have Joe in the middle. All right.
Yes.
All right.
There you go.
Yep. Good shot.
So I am
Like a table
joined
layout.
by my usual group of players, plus a Mr. Bill Drewnowski will be joining us for today's episode. How's everybody doing?
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Doing good.
Can't wait.
All right. So, diving right in, you guys are on your way to the inn where Tira is staying. Taking.
What was the inn? The Lucky Ducky? No, was that the Lucky Duck?
Was it the Lucky Duck? I actually did not write that down. What it is?
You don't
but
remember. Sorry. Kind of rings a bell though.
You do
That's our
have
job.
Annabelle Belush with you. The
Lucky
And her
noble-
leg's like jacked up, right?
yeah,
who's
so
underneath
you guys have stayed.
Pillar.
Yeah. The support beams from her house, it did collapse and fall on her lower back, rendering her legs,
Her back.
unfortunately damaged. So I think that you guys are taking her to the inn, correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
En route though, I want to be I think we need to be able to react to the last thing we saw where we left off.
There
So
was a portal in the sky, a large magical portal, and a demonic eye attached to a desiccated face peeking through portal,
yes, but
saying,
you also to have mentioned that fiery hair or whatever. So am I able to call out who this is to?
I want to say it's well known enough that
Yeah.
you don't even need a dice roll for that. You know,
Okay.
the Dark Four are common knowledge in Mythos.
So are we saying in the timeline that Arethyr, he's been known to have been back, or this is a first sighting of him?
No.
Or
they haven't been seen since the first age, the Dark.
Okay, so that's a big deal, right? So I mean, like, yeah. So as my character, gang, can you do you know who we just saw? That was Arethyr. I feel like I've got to get word back to Sir Gideon and the rest of the flock. This is imperative that this
was
is
that
known.
even real? I mean, who knows anymore? It seems like it was.
We just fought giant frogs. Those are as real as it gets. That was
we
Arethyr.
did, but we've encountered a lot of incredible things lately. So I don't know.
I don't want to take the chance. If it's not real, that's fine. If it is, we need to get word. So let's continue to the inn post haste. As soon as we get there, I need to figure out how to get word to the flock.
We need to hastily post then.
Yes, and I need to get my hand back.
Yes, it's very important.
Let's roll. Let's go.
All right.
All right. I will jump in and say, though, I did look it up, and this is actually an anniversary episode. According to YouTube, it's been exactly 1 year since we started.
Oh, kidding. That's awesome.
Yep. I looked at Legion's Quest episode 1, and it says a year ago. So
nice.
Happy anniversary, everyone.
Nice.
It's canon, Kent, pool, and it's live.
Actually, I'm more of a rocket than a cannon, but yeah. All right, you guys continue on.
Is she all right? Like, is she? We got her like a kind of a stretcher.
I mean, it depends. She's not going to die if that's what you mean. But her legs don't work. Yeah, her legs don't work right now. You have to carry her. She cannot walk on her own.
Okay.
I'm carrying her on my shield. I've been carrying her.
That's right. Yeah.
Strapped her to my shield, and I've been carrying her. Yeah.
Right.
And I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to let my inner dialogue. I'm trying not to like mutter my thoughts out loud as I'm carrying her, because I'm just so concerned about what we just witnessed. But you're
stressing her out more by telling her that Arethyr just appeared above her. All right.
Well, hey, she saw it too. Well, maybe she's
out of it. She's kind of out of it.
Anyway,
Yeah. So, yeah.
So your characters do know, though, that the Eye of Arethyr, that's exactly what it does, is it weakens the barrier between the planes.
Right.
So,
and now it's back in his hands.
By him, by the
hand.
Aretyr's got hands.
The current villain that is using it, that stole it from the church, by using it, he is weakening the border between the realms and is possibly hastening the return of something that should not return to the prime material plane.
So we need to get on this.
So as you guys are heading down the street, you can the streets are almost completely abandoned.
Well, yeah.
After the attack by the Malafar demons in the last episode, the street is completely bare of commoners. Every once in a while, you'll see a group of guards darting between buildings or from alley to alley, trying to stay out of the open while they move about the city. People will peek through their windows or crack a door to take a peek outside, but when they see movement, they quickly close the shutters or shut the door. So your movement throughout the streets is not impeded in any way. You quickly arrive at the inn.
Lucky Duck.
No, it's not the Lucky Duck.
It's not the Lucky Duck? I thought it was Lucky Duck.
That's the other game.
Oh, violated.
Was it?
I don't think we ever got a name for this inn. It's just the inn.
The inn. Okay.
If it needs a name, we'll call it the House of Cards.
Oh,
I thought that was the other one. That was the other one.
That was the bar.
That was the other one.
That was the bar.
That was the bar.
It's called the lounge.
Inn.
It's called the lounge.
The sign just says "in" on it.
The
The
fall
Legion's
in.
in.
Okay.
The fall in. Cool. All right, we're at the inn.
All right, you get to the inn and head inside. Again, there's no one on this bottom level except for Eamon, the Templar Inquisitor. And
do we know where Tira is? Like in room wise? Do we know where she's staying?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
put her up, right? So
yeah, you guys rented the room for her, so
all right,
you would know.
Cam will run up to her room looking for her.
I was just gonna say.
Okay.
I'm gonna set Danabelle down as comfortably as I can while we're waiting for just instead of we're not taking her up, we're bringing Tira down. So I'm gonna set her down, and I'm gonna just go over to Eamon and fill him in on what has transpired and what we just saw. Let him know we need to get word to Sir Gideon.
You are right. That is disturbing. I seem to have missed it. I wish someone had come to get me. I heard shouting. By the time I got down, apparently the excitement was over.
How do you recommend we get word to Sir Gideon and the rest of the flock? They need to know. They need to be aware.
This town will need defenders. I can take this on myself. Travel back to the capital and deliver this message.
Godspeed, Eamon.
I think that this is probably more important than the quest that I was on. Looking for the villain that I was. He can wait.
Agreed.
And what villain was this? This was the wolf, the
Linnaeus
Lupus Rex.
The Lupus Rex. Yeah.
Wow,
Lupus
good.
Rex is his title. Linnaeus is the name of the villain that he's looking for.
Yes, do this, Eamon, and then we'll take care of what we need to take care of, and then perhaps we could come together and help you find Lupus in the end.
Yes. I can agree to that, but this town will need guardians, apparently. It seems to be a target for some reason, from skeletons to demons. Bad things are transpiring here.
Yes,
but
if you return and we're not in this town, you know where we'll be up at the fort at the top of the hill.
Very good.
We'll have room there to accommodate any forces that can join us.
Very good. Hopefully, a lot of help will be with me when I return.
The beds are a little in bad shape, but we'll fix it up. It'll be good.
Very well. I will leave with haste. Try to survive until I return. And he rushes out of the inn.
It's Jesse. I will go to the bartender and just see. I don't know. Is there anything?
Bartender is not here.
He's not here.
The bottom
There's
level
nobody
is
here?
completely abandoned. Yes.
Oh,
there's
okay.
nobody in the.
Oh, everybody's just left because of everything that's happened. Okay.
Yeah. Jesse, Cam arrives up at Tira's room.
This is just by the way, this is just a recurring. I wouldn't even call it a bit, but we're educating Curtis as we play. We're expanding his vocabulary.
We're expanding, yes, his vocabulary.
Yes, and as we do, he tends to post up on screen, which he doesn't have control of. So I'll try and catch this when he learns a new word. So there we go.
Right. And for all those listening on the audio version of this, if everybody just starts chuckling for no reason, that's probably why.
The word is hasten. Go look it up.
Yeah.
Connected with the word haste.
Right.
Correct.
So, Bill, your character, Dagmyr Collarcleave, is a fighter from the Heroes Guild in Burlong. You actually know the player characters. You were all part of the Heroes Guild at the same time. Your character has been off on a quest escorting a caravan to a different city. You return to the Heroes Guild, and the guild leader, a man by the name of Callum, calls you and several other adventurers to his office. There was a group that got sent out to deliver an item for a Lady Belush, a well-known noble within this city, and then never returned. It's been quite some time. No word has made it back of them and their welfare at all, which is concerning to Callum. You know, being an adventurers guild, you know, they want to make sure that the whatever tasks they're hired to complete are completed. So you are being hired to follow up on that quest to make sure that the item is delivered and find out what has happened to the 4 adventurers that went ahead of you. Like I said, you knew them, you interacted with them at the the guild.
Okay.
And they were just that you got sent on a different quest than they did. So you and several other adventurers were chosen. You followed their path, the path that they were supposed to go on to the town of Rakshesh. During your travel, you were attacked by skeletons and a giant white wolf and orcs. And throughout the course of this travel, the other adventurers that were with you, unfortunately, didn't make it. So this is a few months down the line. You arrive at the town of Rakshesh on your own, having lost the other adventurers in your travel here. As you're entering the town, which is a stone-walled city with 2 large gates. The gates are open right now as it's during the day, just standard fare for a city. You had heard some screaming and maybe a loud rumbling voice. You couldn't quite make out what it was. It seemed like something was going on. You hastened yourself to the city, which we all know what it means now, thanks to Curtis. Hasten yourself to the city just in time to see the 4 adventurers that you were looking for. There's an inn right inside the city gates, carrying a woman on a shield, kind of a high class looking, maybe noble woman, into an inn right inside the city gates. So that's where you arrive.
Well, I will enter that inn.
All right. You go into the inn. Right now, you see 3 of the 4 in there. You actually pass a Templar Knight as you're coming in. A Templar Knight is exiting the inn. He nods to you as he passes by, a very determined look on his face, like he's a man on a mission. As you enter, they've placed the young noblewoman on the floor. Looks like they're trying to make her comfortable. She seems to be injured. And Gradduk, Eénsek, and Ferr are kind of huddled around her at this point in time.
I'm just gonna turn around and, like, you know, get ready. Like, who?
When you hear the door open, all
Yeah.
right.
Who? What?
Is that Dagmyr?
I know you, my stout friend.
It is Dagmyr.
Yes, last I heard he was working as an escort.
It's good to see you guys.
It's great to see a familiar face. What brings you here, of all places and of all time?
Well, I came to follow up on your journey, and I barely made it here myself. How are you all still alive at this point?
Let me get. Callum sent you to check up on us.
Yes.
It's been
So much trust with that one.
Quite a journey.
Yes, but it's yeah.
He sent you alone all this way?
I was with a whole party of warriors, and we almost all were killed. I'm the only one left.
Well, you can come have a drink with me at the bar. There's no bartender. We can do whatever we like.
We'll leave some coin on the bar, Dagmyr. I'll join for a drink, and I'll lay some coin down.
All right.
I'm glad you survived. I'll stay with Lady Belush.
All right.
The new Lady Belush.
Her
Danabelle.
name is Danabelle.
Danabelle. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to grab drinks, there's nothing, top shelf here, but there's enough to get you where you want to be.
How is she doing? Is she in shock, or what is she? Is there anything like is she conscious?
She is conscious. She has a look on her face that you can tell she's uncomfortable, but she doesn't complain or say much. She just has a very somber look on her face.
For a couple of shots of something strong over here, please.
Are we taking any rest, short rest, long rest, any rest?
No.
While we're here, we're having a drink? We're sort of by ourselves. Can this be considered a short rest?
Part of a rest? Yeah, it could be a short rest.
Okay.
I'll take the short rest.
So for people watching, on our player sheets on D&D Beyond, there's actually a button. It just literally says short rest and long rest, and we can click short rest.
So now, do we do the hit die for this, or no?
I mean, that's up to you guys. You can.
So if I take a short rest, what does that mean? What is that going to do?
So your level is there. It's a number of hit die. So your 5th level, so you have 5 hit die. For every hit die like box that you check, it'll roll 1 of your hit die, which for you, Trevor, is a D6, and it'll roll that number of D6 and heal that amount of damage if you take it.
So my damage isn't horrible. I'm really more about my spell slots, but that's not going to reset until a long rest.
How do you get it to roll, Jesse? I can't get mine to roll.
You click on the numbers like you do your damage.
You
check the little boxes, however many you want to use.
Yeah.
And it should give you a number, like the little dice block, like 2d4 plus 6 or whatever.
No, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah,
why does mine say? Mine says 1d10 plus 2, and then it says total 5. What is total? Oh, that's just forget it. I know what that means.
There you go.
So I roll a d10.
There we go. So 2. All right.
Okay,
So I got 21. So I was at 19. Now I'm at 21 hit points. So all right.
Okay, can somebody pull up my screen real quick because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I get it at the bottom.
Yep.
Okay, so I go to short rest. Right. Well, I had 1 already. I guess we had taken before. So I do 2. I was going to do 2, right? And then hit take short rest. And then hit confirm.
Yeah, but it should come up before confirm. I don't know why. Hit 4. Just for there we go. So I don't know if you can now take 1 off.
See, I was only at 1 though before I started. So
all right, take 1 off and see if it gives you 1d3. No, see, I don't know why that does that. Is there a minimum you have to take?
What'd you say, Joe?
You might have already used them. Is this your second short rest?
I only had 1 that I had used out of the 5 when I first.
Because if you click from the other side, like click that. No.
If I click it, it makes it. Yeah.
If you go to 4,
when you do that, see, it only says 1d12, so you only have 2d12 left available.
Plus 4.
But I only used 1 so far. So.
Well, the D&D Beyond everyone is not perfect. There might still be some bugs.
So hit 4. Hit 4. That's what I did. I just kept going up until it gave me the die, and then click.
Or you could just click.
Well, that's
the die roller
going to be 2
on the bottom.
So I think there's some sort of limit. Click. Okay.
What is it?
That's not going to add to your hit points. You're going to have to
automatically. I had to manually do it.
Just hit 4. Hit 4. Hit 4. Hit 4, and it comes up, and that's 1d12 plus 4. So that's what you're getting. You don't want to do that?
That's not enough. I should have had 4 available, which would be 4d4 plus
4d12 plus 4.
4d12 plus.
All right. Well, then do what you want to do.
16. Is that right?
I think plus 4 it says,
but it's plus 4 per, right?
I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
I thought. It should be. It should.
Yeah. So it should be 4d4 plus
4d12.
4d12 plus 16.
Yes.
Okay. So if I do,
you're going the wrong way.
D12. There we go.
There.
Okay. So if I roll that,
Get 60 hit points.
Didn't give me a total. I got to add it up manually. What kind of bullshit's this?
Is it in the
21?
Okay.
Custom rules 21. There we go.
Okay, so 21 plus 16 would be 37.
Yeah.
On to 19.
So you can just type in 37 under heal. There you go. Well, you can just type it in too.
It's all right.
Or you could type it in. Or you could type it in.
Yeah. Well, gotta be close.
Right. Damn.
All right.
Yeah. There might be something too that changed with the 2024 rules coming out, that things are working different with short rests too. I haven't read the 2024 rules, so I'm not caught up on those. Maybe something changed.
One note to people who are using D&D Beyond, they're kind of forcing people into the 2024 rules, so there's some things within here that you can't kind of escape. Unfortunately, I don't know if that's going to change or not, but that's the way it is right now.
So are we all in pretty good shape now? I'm 4 away from my max, which is pretty good.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I just need to heal my spell slots basically. If we're going to go into another battle, I need to take a long rest.
Cam was fine.
Okay. All
right. On that note, go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to say, so we're gathered around the bar. Can we just say that we've taken this time to fill Dagmyr in?
Yeah. I'm going to have Cam arrive at Tira's room.
Knock first, as somebody politely suggested.
Cam knocks at the door. Tira.
Who is it? She sounds frightened.
It's Cam.
The door opens just a crack, and you see her looking out. Oh,
thank
goodness it's you. And then she opens the door. What is happening? I could have sworn I saw demons, like little demons, flying around outside my window.
You certainly did. There was all sorts of craziness going on. It appears Necronominus isn't the only of the Dark Four that's starting to come back. We just saw a vision of Erithir in the sky, and threats of the veil thinning, and things, all sorts of madness.
That sounds awful. Are you all right?
Annabelle, we're mostly fine. Annabelle's downstairs. She's in pretty rough shape. If you would mind coming down, and then I've got something when the time allows, I've got something I need you to identify for me if you can.
Yes, of course. Annabelle, is she all right?
She's stable at the moment, but she's definitely been she's seen better days.
Oh no. Yes, let me grab my bag. I'll be right down.
Downstairs, Gradduk is looking in the cabinets for any cured meats, possibly some apples.
There is actually a stew and a cauldron bubbling over a fire pit in the tavern. As you come over to the stew, it looks like it's been unattended for quite some time. Still edible, but a little overly well done.
Hey, Gradduk, why don't you stir that up a bit?
Well, if there's any burn stuff at the bottom, I don't want to mix it in. I'll just scoop from the top.
All right, Cam. She comes back with a large satchel with her.
And having sensed her fear, Cam will wait and play bodyguard.
Okay. She says, "Are the demons gone? Did you?
As far as we can tell, they're gone. It looks like they all went back through their portals."
But I lost my hand.
Thank God.
If Cam heard that, she would have said, "No one gives a shite."
All right.
Yeah, you're not even there.
And Tira head downstairs.
Tira,
You
As
see
she
them come
arrives,
down.
I'm just giving her a little bit of a dram of something that Ferr brought over to me.
Yeah, it's
Just to kind of
good to
ease
see
the
you're
pain.
okay, Tira.
Danabelle, sorry, sometimes the names are elusive. Takes the shot glass from you.
Well, I'm just kind of like helping her.
Yeah, and then she takes a sip and makes a face like she's used to higher quality liquors. But
any port in a storm, my dear, and you're in no shape to really refuse.
No, I'm not refusing it. It just tastes awful. Oh,
I just close her nose. I just close her nose, and she just drinks it.
Oh, if only it had landed on my head. She makes a motion. You almost see smoke come out of her mouth.
That should be kicking in any second now.
Yes, I do appreciate it.
Is Tira down there now?
Yes.
Gradduk goes up to her. Where's Henry? Is he okay?
I don't know. He's in the stables. I didn't have him in my room.
You didn't give him room and board?
Tira. Oh, okay, enough with the donkey.
They don't let donkeys in the inn. Attic.
But
this isn't an orc inn.
This woman needs help.
Yes. I think I have just the thing. Sorry. He distracted me. It's not my fault.
I know.
She rushes over to Danabelle and starts digging through her bag. She pulls out a potion from inside the bag that it's kind of a thick, viscous looking liquid of a pinkish color. I've been saving this for a while for an emergency. A potion.
Would you say this is a balm or a salve, perhaps?
It's possibly good for nausea, heartburn, indigestion.
It's got
a upset stomach, diarrhea.
It's got a pinkish hue.
Yeah.
It's a potion, specifically a potion, and it's a potion of regeneration, which should restore any damage that it takes time. But here, dear, if you could, I know it's unpleasant with its chalky taste, but
after what she just drank, she shouldn't be tasting this at all.
Yeah. If you can tough this down, it will help you.
Drink it down, dear. We'll get you a waffle afterwards.
Oh,
they're delicious.
Well, waffles do sound good. Yes.
I don't know about waffles. We have this stew, but it's not very good.
It's probably some of that frozen meat.
Cam's watching at the door or the windows or something.
Okay.
Drawn or like knocked.
All right. The streets seem still abandoned. The townsfolk maybe aren't confident that the event is over. You don't really see anybody in the streets. Like I said, every once in a while, because Belgar was with you guys at the mansion. I should have had him say this, but he needs to check in with the town guard and get them organized. So as you were bringing her here, he took off to find other members and rally the town's guard.
And wait,
so
you
can see
Danabelle's fiance?
Yeah, Belgar is.
Was he not in the house when it was on fire and stuff?
Mm-mm.
He showed up afterwards, right? I don't remember exactly. Okay. But it seems like I remember him being there at the end, towards the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Joe, just a quick aside. How long, if it's smooth sailing, would it be for Eamon to get to where he needs to go and get word?
Weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Get a while.
And that's pushing it, like a hard ride,
Okay.
Because he's not going back to Burlong. He's trying to make it to the capital. So.
And he doesn't have like a donkey or anything. So
he doesn't have a donkey, which will make him actually go faster because donkeys are super.
So,
so Tira gets her this potion. Is she? How is she looking?
Yeah, she drinks it down. Once Danabelle has drinking the entire potion, Kira says, "All right, bring her up to my room. She needs to rest. It takes time for the potion to work."
Okay. Well, while that's taking place, I'm going to pull Dagmyr aside and just say, we filled you in on what's happened. You saw what was up in the sky.
Cameron's here.
The Templar that you passed on your way in is sending word to the capital. It's going to be weeks. So we could use every able-bodied fighter we can muster. Would you be willing to stay with us? That's to you, Bill.
That's
you. Sorry. Yeah. Of course. I'm ready to help wherever I can.
It's greatly appreciated. Yes.
Someone give me a hand with this shield.
It was convenient that your job as an escort ended at this time.
Pay no attention to him. Someone give me a hand with this shield.
What do you need done with the shield?
We need to carry her up to Tira's room.
I can help out with that.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you guys carry Danabelle up to Tira's room, get her set on the bed. Even by the time that you get her upstairs and into the room and into the bed, she seems to be feeling a little bit better. You notice that the constant wince of pain that she had on her face is starting to fade.
Can you move your toes?
Fully recover?
She will fully recover. It's a potion of regeneration, so it'll slowly heal her over time, but it will restore her to perfect health afterwards. Any damage, permanent damage that is done. Now that is a potion. I was actually saving it for one of you if you lost a body part or something. My father was a much better alchemist than I was, and it was a potion that he had brewed. So unfortunately, I don't at current have the ability to make more.
Well, you're doing great. Can you do us a favor and get word to Belgar, her fiance, that she's here and she's well and she's under your care? We don't know exactly what's going to happen next.
Eénsek, I don't really want to go outside. I saw demons flying around.
No. But I mean, maybe we could find someone that could, send a message.
Oh, yes, of course. Cam?
Yes. Don't leave the building. Don't leave.
Okay.
Oh, she's just going to call the Cam?
Yeah. Cam, would you do that for me, please?
Well, I'm
terrified to go outside.
Cam pulls her hood up, grabs her bow, slips out the door, and makes her way to the guardhouse or whatever.
All right. Curtis?
Gradduk. You said something about that potion helping if somebody lost a limb. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
A lot of this, what is happening is because this guy somehow lost his hand.
Yes, a complete mystery.
If we were able to get some more of that potion, do you think it could help him grow his hand back so that maybe he would stop being a menace? Yep, and this is the part of the show where Joe locks up.
It happens every once in a while.
Let's check the chat.
Yeah. Cameron's with us.
Hey,
Cameron?
what's up, Cam?
Yeah. Cam looks like he's on an adventure.
So you were saying, Joe, sorry.
I don't know.
Playing our unofficial Mythic Legion game, not the actual Mythic Legion game.
I don't know who you're talking about, but if they're missing a limb, yes, that's what that potion does, is it restores missing body parts.
But you don't know how to make any more?
I don't know. That was something that my father had made. I've been keeping it for emergencies, just in case. I thought all the terrible things that you had faced, that eventually you would need it.
Yes, we probably could use it right now. Eénsek, do you think your busty girlfriend would know how to make such a potion?
I don't know who you're referring to, but it's possible that another alchemist might be able to help. That could be a good thing to have, honestly. Tira, what do you think you'd need to create another version of this potion? Just some insight or ingredients?
No. I don't even know the recipe.
Don't know.
Yeah, my father was a much more accomplished alchemist than I am. I just simply do not know.
Sounds like we need to find an alchemist if this is the plan. What you guys want to do?
Yes,
a more learned one than myself. Yes,
I suppose we do.
But I think all of you could probably use potions. Yes, healing potions. I've been working on more. If you're ready,
absolutely. Yes, thank you very much.
Yes.
So she'll give you guys three each.
What kind?
The
regular potion here.
No, the second tier one.
Greater.
Oh, greater potion.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. 3
greater potions of healing for each of you, and she'll give Cam's to Ferr because she trusts you to actually give it to Cam.
Will do. Thank you.
Actually, I gotta get that great potion. So I'm gonna show this on stage. I'm gonna add an item. This is a greater potion of healing. No. Wow, that was very helpful.
You can put in healing potion and see what comes up.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Potion of healing. Yeah. Potion of healing greater. There we go.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So we get 3 of those, and then I'm going to add those, right? That's it. Move? What is that?
Move, yep, to equipment.
Okay. Yep, there we go.
All right.
Okay. So now in my inventory, I should have 3 greater potions of healing. And there we go. 3 greater potions of healing. Ding. All right. Thank you.
Oh, yes, of course. Any help that I can be, I'm more than happy after all you've done for me.
Quick question. Does that include me, or was she just preparing for the ones she knew?
No, that includes you also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, assume we've introduced, I guess, you two. Yeah.
We would have gotten 4 each, but
we could still give Bill a hero's death.
Oh, jeez, come on.
I like to see you try. I got a feeling this could be good.
All right, Cam. You're on your way to the guardhouse or the barracks, and but you actually see Belgar moving around the streets with some of the guards while you're on the way there.
Okay. She'll call out to him, try to get his attention.
He notices you once you call. Oh, yes. Can I help you?
So we got Annabelle into the inn. Tira's given her a potion. She's resting there in the room.
Oh, thank you so much. You have
Amy
my
the Templar
thanks.
Set off to the capital to warn the higher ups about what's been going on. This is now the second of the Dark Four we've encountered on this mission, or their servants. So it's a bit concerning.
That is very troubling. Yeah.
So, yeah, batten up your forces. There's a couple of dead Hellfire goblins down the road towards Annabelle's house.
We saw them, and they've gotten much smaller since when you fought them, is my understanding.
Well, that's
speaking to some of the guards. So
easier to get rid of them.
Yeah, we've been trying to gather up the demon bodies and get them away from the town, so that way the townsfolk don't have to see them.
Do demon bodies?
There's a mill or something here, correct? A quarry?
The quarry is a fair distance from town, but relatively close. A lot of the townsfolk work there.
given the recent development with bones crawling back out of the dirt and fighting, maybe there's something there that might be able to grind those things up and make them.
Oh, I see. Yes,
Just-
yes. That is a very fine idea. We will. Yes, we did try to burn them, but their bodies don't burn, so grinding them up seems like a good idea.
Demons. It's like putting a fish back in water.
Right. Yeah. Guess I didn't really think that through. We're used to fighting bandits here. Skeleton armies and demon hordes is not our standard fare.
Well, hopefully we're trying to figure out what's going on and what we can do to take this fight away from here. But yeah, whatever you can do to protect your people as they move back and forth between the quarry, maybe a curfew, not to infringe on anything, but just to help keep your people safe. And I don't know if there's any
now, I think
reinforcements
they
you
would
can call
be.
for.
I think they would be happy to be infringed upon. There's been some terrifying events in the last week, and they just want to be safe.
As do we all.
Yes. So, here, and he digs on his belt and pulls a pouch out. A reward. You've all done so much for us, and I feel as though you deserve a reward. So, here, thank you for everything you've done, especially for Danabelle. I don't know what I would do if anything happened to her.
Can I tell what's in the pouch?
Feels like coins.
Oh, I want to do a character thing, but I don't feel like that's right to do without the rest of the team.
He's fighting it. She's fighting
it. He probably doesn't realize that a lot of this trouble he also brought with us.
Well, that's why I'm going to talk to the rest of my friends, and there's a good chance this might be coming back to you because you guys were going to work on that fort for us up on the hill. So we might put this towards.
That is from my personal stipend.
Oh,
please, just take it. You deserve it.
Thank you.
We're firefighters. We start the fire, we put it out, and then
and then call yourselves heroes.
Yeah. Just side note, like I Gradduk grabbed a bowl of stew to take out to Henry in the stables while this was going on. So
Henry's not going to eat stew.
It's the only thing he could find. If I could find some apples, I would bring him apples, but I could only find some stew.
Henry actually is happy to see you when you get to the stable, and he makes excited donkey noises. Just to see.
Do I hear those noises?
Yeah. I mean, you hear those noises quite often, usually following certain actions that you do yourself. Henry is excited to see you, but he doesn't eat soup. A carnivorous donkey is actually terrifying, in my opinion.
I just brought the potato part of the stew for him.
But you didn't say that. But if you take the potatoes out, he will eat the potatoes.
All right. I feed him the potatoes.
All right.
Yeah. Didn't want to sidetrack the whole other thing, but I just want to let everybody know that I am checking on Henry.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Cam, are you included?
She'll make sure that he doesn't eat anything, and then head back to the rest.
I think we'll be all right. We're mostly just trying to dispose of the bodies. I've posted some guards on the higher towers to keep an eye out, but so far they haven't reported in anything. So I think for now, anyways, the demons are gone.
Meanwhile, I'm going to go outside. I don't know about you two, Ferr and Dagmyr, but just to see if anything else is falling from the sky. And
I'll come with you and kind of motion Dagmyr to come. As we walk out, I want to mention, I forget the old man's name that kind of owns a lot of the town and had the
Phil Marin.
Phil Marin, that's right. Yes.
It's Termin.
So I'll
Phil
just
Marin's
make
his
a
last name. Termin is his
yeah,
first
I love
name.
Phil. I love Phil Marin. Sounds like a Cubs player from the 70s.
Center field.
I just want to mention that
Phil Marin.
We sort of think that we may have brought some of this onto this town, or there might just be something about this town itself, and perhaps Phil could lend some insight into what's been transpiring lately, and I wonder if it might be worth another visit. What do you think, Eénsek?
You guys 100% brought the Eye of Erethyr here, and then the villain got it and used it to summon demons. So that part, you guys are very aware of what happened. That is no fault
one
of the
person is to blame. At all.
No, of course not. But the part with the demons, yeah, you guys know exactly what happened with that.
But perhaps I don't know if maybe he'll have a relic or some information or some thoughts. I don't know that we can wait weeks for my troops to arrive. I'm
As low
I'm at a
as
loss
I am
right
to
now
admit
for
it,
our
I
next
think
step.
that Gradduk has a good idea, and that if we get this idiot his hand back, he may just go away.
Well, how do we
He
even
his
find
hand
him? How do we find?
Well, it's not his hand; it's a hand.
No, it's his hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gradduk
Well,
had
it is
his
his
hand,
hand.
and he
Well,
was
it
having
is
it
his hand, yeah.
taxidermied. Yeah,
But it's not.
we
But it's
saw-
not
But
really.
if he gets
his
the
hand.
potion, he'll grow a new one, right?
that's not the point.
Oh, well, that's what we were
If
talking
his
about.
hand grows back, that doesn't mean he'll get his job back and his wife will come home.
Oh, well, we don't know any of that.
Hmm.
I don't know his wife's going.
I'm kidding. You guys have no idea why he's so upset. I mean, you have a basic idea, but not details.
Well, last we
maybe
saw,
just
he was.
need somebody to lend him a hand.
Heyo. Rim shot here.
Well, bottom line is we need to get this eye back.
Yes, and
Close up this portal.
I'm not sure how to go about doing that.
I don't even know where to look.
I don't know where to begin myself.
All right, Cam. About that time, you show back up at the inn. You can see 3 of your fellow adventurers standing on
The stranger, Billy.
the porch of the inn talking.
Cam, were you successful in finding our contact?
I talked to Belgar. He's
Belgar.
got. She pulls out the pouch. He made a generous offering from his own personal stipend to thank us for all we've been doing for the town and for Danabelle especially. Didn't take anything out of you. Don't worry. I don't even know how much is in there.
Ooh, well, that's
Well,
very,
that reminds me, I have 3 greater healing potions
Ooh.
to hand you from Tira. Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Why would we accuse you
All
of
right.
doing that?
Gradduk, about
Gradduk.
that time, you come back up to the front of the inn from feeding Henry.
Mm-hmm.
How's
how much
Henry
should we
Gradduk?
get?
You guys dig into the pouch to see?
Yeah.
All right. Inside, there's 200 gold pieces worth of coin.
Man,
We're getting a
Cha-ching.
PS5 for
pays
our
to summon
our
demons.
castle,
Yeah.
That's right.
our
We
fort.
got to
on
get
the hill.
beds. There's no beds. They're all rotted. We got to get beds.
There's
Yeah,
hardly any
that's fine.
walls.
You just invited about 30 people, Ferr. Like, I mean, where are these people going to go?
They're soldiers. They can sleep on the
That's true.
ground.
On the floor. Oh, wow.
All right, 200. How do we split this up?
5 ways.
All
We're doing
right.
5 ways. We just met this guy. Didn't do anything.
we knew him from before, though, right?
This is
but what did he do? He just came to
This
find
is,
us. We're doing all right.
a thank you in advance, Dagmyr.
Yes, of
So,
course.
so 40
course.
each.
40 each.
Already.
Yes, that for all your trouble. It's good to
we-
see you. It's good to
We
see
don't.
you.
It's good
Glad
to see
you're
you.
here.
and
We
don't,
lost.
we don't
lost some good
anticipate-
men.
That too, yes.
Yes.
We don't anticipate an easy road ahead, so consider this a down payment for your...
What is the road ahead? Where is this road? What road are we taking? Why are we on this road?
About
Where are
this
we
time,
going?
you guys hear Tira scream from inside the inn.
Oh,
my
shit.
Run back in.
Oh, Lord.
Everyone?
All right.
All right.
Everyone.
We're running.
As you all bust into the inn, you see
We don't
Tira
get
like
stuck in the door, like, 3 people trying to fit through the doorway. Like, no,
Yep, yep,
you
yep,
first.
yep,
No,
yep.
I assume. Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I insist, you first.
Tira's on the stairs, like falling backwards, trying to climb up the stairs. You see 2 elves, shadowy, dark figures, dressed in robes with cloth over their faces, hiding. But you can see their elves within their pointed ears within their hoods that identify them definitely as elves. One of them has a dagger out and is pointing it at Tira as
She's falling backwards on the stairs?
She's like climbing up the stairs, but she like fell back on the stairs and is climbing upwards.
Are they coming up the stairs or down the stairs?
They're standing at the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, okay.
One of them is pointing a dagger towards her.
Cam fires the dagger
Fires at the dagger?
to like knock the dagger out of the hands.
Yeah, you said
Okay.
she fires the dagger. How did you get the dagger to fire?
I
You're
said
firing
at.
at the
I said fired at the dagger.
Okay, go ahead and make an
Yeah,
attack
I'm going to
roll.
pull out a crossbow as well.
Oh,
She doesn't.
Okay.
The elf doesn't have it to her throat or anything. She's just pointing at her with the dagger, just so you guys know.
That's why I'm hitting the dagger, not the elf.
As he's doing that, I'm going to yell out, not another move, elves.
Do we know their elves?
14.
We don't know their elves.
I thought
And
you
you
said-
better not steal our stew.
Sorry, what's that, Jesse?
14.
That actually misses.
Ooh.
Armor class is higher than that. But it does get their attention and they turn.
That's more. I wasn't going to do damage. I wasn't trying to damage the elf.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
It was more
I
of
get
a
what you're saying, but
warning shot across the bow kind of a thing.
yes. They turn and one of them narrows their eyes as they see the 5 of you standing there. Ah, Eénsek. So good of you to come.
You know
I've
this?
been here.
Dun,
Elves,
dun.
We've come from
All
the
you
gym.
boys have people who hate you, following you around all over the dang continent.
No one hates me. Who are
Yeah,
you?
everybody in here kind of goes, well,
I'm beloved wherever I go.
This is where we need Jesse's music.
the gem, Eénsek. Hand it over.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about. Who are
You know the gem that you took. It wasn't yours to make off with. We would see it returned. Either
I
from your
suggest the
live
two of
hands
you-
or taken off of your dead body.
Put
Really?
your weapons away and we'll let you walk out of here. Otherwise...
Quiet you. I'm not speaking to you.
Oh,
I'm
but you're
speaking
speaking to
you.
all of us, my friend.
I'm speaking to you, Eénsek. You have something that doesn't belong to you. I would see it returned.
Actually, everything that I have belongs to me. Because I have it by virtue of the fact that I have it.
One more warning. Sheathe your weapons. Walk out. Leave the city. Or else.
What
I
the
think
big
not.
horny guy said.
I think not.
Tatanka.
Return the gem, or we will take it off of your corpse.
All right. I will pull out my sword.
Yeah, I'm pulling out a crossbow and aiming it.
Gradduk noticed a bowl of popcorn sitting on one of the tables, and he sits down and starts eating it and watching what's going on.
So
we have
the-
only had a short rest, right? Son of a bitch. Okay.
The elves begin to move forward. Very well. Your parents thought that it would be safe in your hands, but we will find it every time, Eénsek. And with that, it's initiative.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, I forgot to.
So now we are rolling initiative, which I will show you. Oh no, I won't because I took my screen down. There we go.
If someone could, I usually have Jesse bring up the map too. So
Click initiative.
Now, if that isn't perfect timing, I don't know what is.
That's
I
hilarious.
think you need some.
Well, it's a
digital
2, but I mean that's a natural.
Better
one,
than
so what does that mean?
crit
I don't know
fail.
what that is. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. An initiative. I mean, I guess that's not so bad.
Yeah, you need some.
I
new
don't
digital
No, that's
dice.
just Eénsek going last.
Yeah.
I have a question,
Sure.
game question here. I have advantage on initiative. Does that sound right? Why do I
You
have
can roll
advantage?
twice.
But why do I have advantage? Is that just part of my character?
Yeah, I did too. For some reason, it was already on there.
As a fighter, it's probably something that comes from one of
Champion
your
fighter?
fighter features.
It
Okay.
might be something from the champion fighter,
Okay,
but I don't know that for certain. We'll have to look into that.
I'll look around.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or it might be something from the 2014 rules that shouldn't
Right.
apply to us. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna have to learn the 2024 rules just so I know what doesn't apply to our characters.
Mm.
All right. Can anyone bring up the map?
It's down there. Someone just needs to bring it up.
Oh, sorry.
All
And
right.
Bill, you're going to look for the little there's
got it
up by your long rest, short rest. There's like a little play button, the little triangle.
Yeah, I'm there.
You click that, it'll take you to the map.
Yeah.
How's that for Zoom, Joe?
Yeah, that looks good to me.
Kent asks if we know how old Eénsek is.
I actually do know how old Eénsek is.
He's legal in most of the realms.
Old enough to know better, Kip.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So not as old as you'd think, but older than you, probably.
Yeah. All right. So, starting the combat, Dagmyr is first. Bill, you're up.
Go new guy.
I will take out my heavy crossbow
All right.
and let me just look at the map again. Here, a second here. Can I see? Okay, we got A and B. Okay. I will
Nice rug.
fire it. So how close?
B was
B
the one
is-
with the dagger.
Okay, I will fire my crossbow at B.
Okay.
Crossbow. So 16 to hit.
16 is his armor class. It hits.
$11 damage.
All right.
Damn.
All right.
Possibly.
Your 5th level, which means that you have a second attack.
All right. I'll
Fucking
fire a
elf,
second-
Ken Pool. I'm old.
Second bolt. Over here. Hold on a second. So, heavy crossbow. 18
That also hits.
Nice.
and 6 damage.
All right.
Those were both to B. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Your arrows fly across the inn and strike the dark figure.
Okay, Joe, just can I identify these two? Do I know these two? Just like insight check or history check? Do I know?
Yeah,
Do I recognize them?
Either of those rolls would be good. Whatever you'd prefer, insight or history.
History? I'll do a history check. That's a 23.
All right. With that roll, you know enough. Their garb doesn't have anything identifying on it. Are you still a frost elf, Trevor? Or
Yeah,
were you gonna
I'm a frost elf. I'm a frost elf. Yep.
All right. The frost elves have like a secret enclave of wizards where your parents and yourself learned magic from. You thought it was just rumors, but it's thought that perhaps they have like a dark cabal type part of this enclave that can be part of dark dealings sometimes.
Okay. But I don't know these two specifically.
No.
By name or sight. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Is there cabal above all?
Sometimes. Yes.
Okay.
So these would be in opposition to whatever like guild or whatever that or they're part of it, but just like a darker under.
Well, you're not sure why exactly
they're attacking.
They're after that gym.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You thought it was a mundane gym.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah,
there wasn't anything special about it, but you were now, questioning.
Does it come with the holograms?
Wow.
Good one, Jesse.
That was good.
Can we name Dark Figure A Walter and Dark Figure B Megan?
It's Dark Cabal. It's a descriptor. That's not the name of the organization.
I know, I'm just kidding. So, but I was going to ask, out of A and B,
Dark Cabal, gonna Dark Cabal.
Who was out of A and B? Who was the one that was doing the speaking? Did we say that yet? I forgot.
B. Yeah, B is the one that had the dagger. Tira has run up the stairs now that you distracted them, and you can hear her room door closing as she locks herself in. All right, Bill, is that your turn? Or are you done?
You know what? I think I will. What is it called? I think I will use my. I can get an extra attack here with Action Surge. I get to use it once.
Action Surge, you get your actions back, so you'll be able to attack 2 more times if you Action Surge right now.
All right, I will Action Surge.
All right.
So I will pick that, and then I will fire again.
Okay.
Press our troops.
That's a 15 plus 5, 20 modified, I guess. It's not coming up for me, but total. But
30-20.
Okay.
5.
That hits.
And that's 4 plus 2, so 6.
All right.
And one more time. These are all at B still.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled a 7. So that's 7. That's 12. That's not going to hit, I don't think.
All right. That one does miss. The arrow zips.
3 out of 4 ain't
sticks
bad.
in the wall behind him.
Okay. And then that's my turn.
All right. That brings up Ferr.
All right. I'm going to advance. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I don't want to get in the way of anybody right here. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for Curtis, I'm going to throw my javelin at Figure B.
All right. Just for anybody who's watching, each square in the hex grid that you see is 5 feet. So if he has 30 feet of movement, he can move 6 squares.
13.
13 misses.
Damn it. Okay. That is my turn.
You have 2 attacks, Nate.
I do have 2 attacks. I'm going to try again.
All right.
You got 2 spears?
He has a bundle of javelins.
Oh, God, an 11.
11 misses also. The 2 javelins zip by the dark figure and stick in the wall behind him.
Damn it. Okay.
All right. That brings up Cam.
I'm gonna step away for a second. I have my headphones on, so I can still hear. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Cam is going to mutter something under her breath in a different language. Which casts Zephyr Strike.
All right.
Is Bill going to be the first person to pee on microphone?
And
if he pees on his microphone, he's doing it wrong.
she just all of a sudden she just moves really fast up here.
All right.
Technically in this spot.
Yes, that's fine.
And then she is going to fire her longbow at Dark Figure B.
All right.
$21 to hit.
Larry actually did that.
That
he
hits.
peed on my show.
Yeah.
All right, and with Zephyr Strike, let's see.
Usually people poop on our show, but I mean it figuratively.
Larry pulled a full-on Drebin.
Awesome.
That's 13 points of damage to Dark Figure B.
Okay. Is that total with the Zephyr Strike or?
No, I didn't do advantage on that one. I'm going to do it on this one though.
Okay. All right.
So first roll for my second attack is a 15.
That misses.
The second roll is an 11.
That also misses.
And that's it. Can I duck down behind this table?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
All right. That's your turn.
That's my turn.
All right. That brings us to Gradduk.
If I do the double movement, does that take both of? Because I got 2 actions at level 5, right? Does that take both my actions?
Yes, a double move takes the place of your attack actions.
But you still got a bonus action, or no? Does that take that too?
I think you can still do your bonus action. I believe so. I've always allowed that. Yes.
Okay.
I'm just gonna reach out, touch it. It's like, stay close.
Let's see. Movement. Let's see, I can go 40 feet, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So if I can normally do 40 feet, a dash would make it 80.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Right to me.
Which hold on. Come on, give me my map back. All right. It's got to reload. Hold on. All right.
All right.
Let's take never mind. Jesus.
That right here.
What's that?
All right.
And that is both of my actions. And then yeah, I'll just leave it at that for right now.
Are you going to rage as a bonus action?
That's what I was trying to decide. I only got 1 left for the next long rest, and I don't know with only 2. How are these guys? How's the guy that we've been attacking? How's he looking?
Pretty good.
Oh shit! All right, yeah, I will go into I'll go into a frenzy. Okay, yeah, I'll go into a frenzy.
These guys look dangerous. Let me put it that way.
Okay. All right. Yep. That would be my turn.
Okay. Next is Dark Figure B, who's going to move here to give himself advantage.
Okay.
And then he is going to use his dagger to attempt to perforate Gradduk with his 3 attacks that he has.
Ooh.
So, first attack. That's a 22.
That hits.
Second attack is an 11.
Miss.
Third attack is a natural 20.
Oh,
That would hit.
Okay, so I will roll damage.
When you say 3 attacks, does he have advantage on each attack? So he rolls 6 times?
Yes, that is correct. Advantage works for him just like it works for you guys.
But you rolled 3 times.
No, I only told you the highest of the 2 rolls. I rolled 2 for each attack.
Oh, okay,
and
gotcha.
Just told you what the highest.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just to expedite things.
So first one.
7. Oh, I'll just tell you the total.
good thing Tira made some healing potions, I have a feeling.
So 22 points of damage from the 3 attacks.
Is that halved? Or
No, that's the total.
So 11?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
All right. And then he will stay where he's at because they have advantage, because Dark Figure A is next, and he will attack Gradduk 3 times. First attack. 21.
Hit.
25.
Hit.
Damn.
And a 23.
Hit.
All right.
You sank my Gradduk.
Nah, just half damage.
26 points of damage on that one.
Ooh.
So 13.
Yep. That's why it was a good idea to go into your frenzy.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were gonna like kill these guys really quickly, and then I wouldn't have it again until we long rest. So that's
you thought that just because they were elves, and that's
well, just because there's only 2 of them. Last time we were in a bar, we were surrounded by like 15 people, and you almost killed us all. So
that didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. Eénsek, it's your turn.
Okay, I haven't used this before, so Arcane Recovery. You've learned to regain some of your magical energy studying your spell, but once per day, when you finish a short rest, you can choose to choose expended spell slots to recover.
Yes.
The spell slots, you can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your wizard level rounded up. So that would be 3.
Correct.
And none of the slots can be 6th level or higher. So I can choose to
one-third level,
one-third
level, or 3 first level. That's how it's breaking.
Okay, so a combined of 3 levels,
or a 2 and a 1.
Yeah. I gotcha. Okay, so either a 3rd level or a 2 and a 1. Jeez. All right.
Gradduk was like, and then he was
all right. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to move up here towards, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, towards Ferr. And I'm going to, I think I've got this on already. And I don't think this is an action, but you tell me. I've got the Hat of Disguise on. So kind of at will, I can cast that, right? Disguise self, or is that an actual?
That's an action.
That's an action?
To disguise self, yeah.
Even with the hat?
Yes. Activating a magic item is an action. So that would be your attack action. You can still do it.
Nah, screw that. Damn it. All right. is that going to help? I don't know. These guys seem to be attacking everybody. So, all right. I'm just going to go with...
Well, so far they've only attacked Gradduk, actually.
I know. All right, I'm going to go first level magic missile.
Okay.
And that is, what do I get? 3 or 4? One more dart. So that's 3 darts, and then it's 4. Wait a minute, hang on. 3 glow. So it's 4, right? It's 4 glowing darts. 4 darts. So I'm going to hit all 4 to the B.
Okay.
And let's see.
Did we say B was the one talking, or was it A?
Yeah,
B was the one that was talking.
Yeah.
So that's
Shut your mouth.
and this is per each, right? Or is that full? Or is that complete damage? That's each missile, right?
Dart. Yeah, each missile.
Right. Okay, so that's 4.
Does a D4
3. That's
plus
7.
Whatever that.
10. 13 points of damage to B.
So it's three darts base. So at first level it would be 3, and then second level adds an additional dart for each slot above first level.
Oh, when you cast above second level. Shit, I forgot that. Damn it. All right. So
Above first level.
Yeah, it's 10 points then. 10 points of damage.
Okay.
I didn't think about that.
But they fly over and smash into him with blunt damage. Whoops. He winces in pain as the darts crash into him. You hear the sound of his bones crunching.
Do I have bonus actions? No, nothing I can do really. All right, that's my turn.
All right, back to the top of the round. Dagmyr. Bill, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna keep firing away from here. I guess I should probably create an angle here. I'll come.
Eénsek is skinny. You can shoot right through him.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just keep firing at Dark Figure B.
All right.
And I just remembered that I have a mastery feature to heavy
That's
crossbow.
a 2024 thing. The mastery features.
So we don't. That's nothing.
I believe so. Gosh.
Okay.
Now I feel like I should look at your character just to be sure. So I don't want to.
It is 2024.
Okay.
Is it?
So
Okay.
ignore it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So heavy crossbow at character B.
All right.
Oh, that's a critical natural 20.
All right.
Yeah,
roll your damage. It should automatically double it for you since you just rolled the crit.
22 damage.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Maxed out.
The arrow strikes him in the side, looking like it penetrates his ribs. He doesn't die, but you definitely get his attention. He winces and turns and looks right at you.
All right. I will fire again. 20.
That hits.
And I need to clear out so you can see my buttons here. Okay. And that is, I can't see it.
3.
3 damage.
All right.
Is that the stew behind figure A?
That is.
Okay.
Wow, you getting hungry?
I just want to make sure I protect the stew. You know, it's our
If
food
you drank the
choice.
stew right now, it would squirt out of all the holes that they poked in Gradduk. All right, Bill, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Ferr, you're up.
All right. I need some Bill luck on my dice here. I'm going to throw a javelin at B.
Okay.
My God. 8.
8 misses.
Try one more time. A big 7.
Whew.
Wow.
That also misses. The
Not
2 javelins
whippy
zip
today.
by him and stick in the floor.
all right. I'm going to move. Whoops. I tried to do it on the
Ever seen so many melee attack from a distance?
one.
That would make it a ranged attack by definition, Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
6. I'm moving up to,
Attacking
to there.
melee.
Okay.
All right. That's your turn?
Yep.
All right. Cam, you're up.
I'm going to pop up from behind the table and shoot at Dark Figure B.
All right.
24 to hit.
Nice.
It hits.
I'll do the damage, but I'm also going to activate my favored foe, which will give an extra 1d4 damage.
All right.
So that's 9 plus 4. So 13 points of damage to him.
Okay.
And I'll use my second attack. Same guy.
All right.
28 to hit.
That hits.
For 10 points of damage.
All
Nice
right.
roll.
The arrows
And
zip across the room, find their way into his torso. Blood squirting from them. He looks near death.
can I use my bonus action to flip the table and then duck behind it?
Yes. Give me an athletics check. Since we talked about that earlier in the show. It's an easy check.
That's 11.
Yep. You succeed. Cam is able to flip the table up on its side and duck behind it, using it for cover.
That's my turn.
All right. Gradduk.
Gradduk goes
Dark figure B is leaning over, multiple arrows protruding from his body. He kind of looks like a
keep him alive, I yell.
Do I keep the one that was talking alive to question, or do I add to the kill count?
Knock him out.
That is
a lot of thinking for Gradduk.
Yeah,
a tough one.
Which will take a couple of seconds.
You see smoke emanating from Gradduk's ears.
Gradduk goes to
doing some sort of magic to him.
Hold on. Let me see. But what does the kill count look like? Oh man, I'm like almost double everybody else. I'm good. Gradduk goes to attack figure A.
Okay.
Hey.
With his
The one next to the giant turtle.
Yeah, it is Figura. 12.
Misses.
Second attack. 16.
That hits.
11 points of damage.
All right.
And then I do my frenzy attack.
Okay.
26.
That hits also.
For 9 points of damage.
All right. All right. Gradduk's axe finds its way to dark figure, slashing away at him, but he seems in relatively good health still.
All right.
That your turn?
That's my turn.
All right. Dark figure B, it's his turn. You see him produce a cloth from somewhere inside his cloak and wipe it on his blade before he attempts to stab you, Gradduk. And he takes his first attack, which is a 24.
That hits.
All right.
Is he attacking with static electricity?
I get a con save, please.
Elves are a little fastidious.
12.
All right. You fail the save against the poison. So you will take 26 points of damage total.
What is the damage?
It's halved. You can have it. The whole.
Well, I can't have the poison, right? I would have the stabbing damage, but not the poison damage.
So the dagger damage was 7 points.
So 4 from there, and then what for the poison?
What was the total?
16.
You said 26 at first.
23, wasn't it? Or 26, then 19?
No, 23. I think it was 23.
Okay.
Was 17? Something like that.
17 points of
7 and
poison
16.
Hold
damage.
on, I think I can look at the game. Hold on. Okay, it was 7 points from his dagger and 19 from the poison.
Oh, it was 26. Yeah. Okay.
So 23 total.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ouch. All right.
All right. His second attack. He still has advantage, so that is a 16.
16 hits.
For 4 points, 8 points of damage, excuse me.
Halved.
Yeah, you can have that.
Okay.
All
The
right.
second one didn't have poison. It was only in the one blade.
Yeah, it was only the first attack.
Okay.
So you wiped off all of the poison with your body. All right. It's now Dark Figure A's turn. He will attack. His first attack is a
Attack who?
20, not natural.
I'm assuming me.
Yes, Gradduk.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, for 7 points of damage.
Okay.
His second attack is a 14.
That's the only time that they've missed me so far.
Well, they have advantage, so I'm
Yeah.
still rolling twice on each attack. And his third attack is a 25.
That hits.
For 8 points of damage.
So I was at 1 point before that. But I will use my relentless endurance. When you're reduced
There you go.
to 0 but not killed, you can drop to 1 HP instead, once per long rest. So I will stay at 1 point of health.
All right. And he seems surprised when that last stab goes underneath your ribs. He turns like he starts to move away from you, and then you kind of wobble but don't fall. And he turns back with kind of large eyes in surprise. Damnable orcs. And it's Eénsek's turn.
He's only half orc.
Moving up here.
I can guess which half.
I'm going to fire up some scorching rays on Dark Figure A. And that is a Oh, natural 20.
Yeah, baby.
That hits.
Woohoo!
I think on the Scorching Ray, you'll have, because each ray, well, you roll for attack for each ray, right?
Oh, I don't know. Do I?
Yeah, I think so. I do. I
I thought that was make a ranged spell attack for each ray. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's 27. Do it.
The first one definitely hits, and don't forget to double the damage on that.
Double the damage.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it did. 46. Yeah, it did. Oh, God, that's terrible roll.
So
13 points of damage.
4, 2, 1, and 6. Not too bad.
At least you hit him.
No, 6 is good. 4 and 6. That's true. That's not too bad, actually. All right. And then there's 3 Scorching Rays? Yeah, 3 Scorching Rays. Oh, that's a 9 to hit. That misses.
That one misses.
And
as you miss, it hits the stew.
knocks
the stew over and spills it all over the floor.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. Stew everywhere.
And you rolled another 20, right?
I rolled another natural 20.
Wow. My, how the tables have turned.
For 14 points of damage on figure A.
All right. The 2 Scorching Rays hit him. His cloak actually catches on fire a bit, and he has to slap himself to put the flames
And
out.
I'm just going to yell, surrender and live. What are you here for?
We're here for the gem. Are you hard of hearing, Eénsek?
Why? Surrender.
It doesn't belong to you. Return it. All right. Now your turn, Trevor.
Your own fate.
can I ask a question real quick?
Sure.
Do we know? Did I miss this in the story? What gem they're talking about? Is this like?
No, this is brand new.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing something.
Yeah, no. This is me doing my thing.
Okay.
Are you done?
But Eénsek does have a gem that we got off the necklace. Does he hold one of those pieces? So
that's not the gem they're talking about. This is
I know, but
well, you don't know that, but
to us, we may be assuming that that's what they're talking about.
Yes, if you want your character to, absolutely.
Okay.
You all done, Trevor?
yeah. How is Dark Figure A looking there?
He actually still looks all right.
Mm.
Jesus.
I know who doesn't look all right, and that's Gradduk.
That's my turn.
Dagmyr.
Okay. I will fire again.
Okay.
Now wait, so just a question. If I attack twice as usual, can I still move after?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Move actions and attack actions are separate things.
All right. So I will fire my first one at B.
At B? Okay.
Yep.
He looks really hurt.
14.
Misses.
And heavy crossbow again.
At B also?
8. Yep.
Okay.
18.
All right, that hits.
12 damage.
All righty.
I thought we were trying not to kill that one.
With that,
Need one alive.
We need one alive. Yeah, we need.
the arrow pierces his chest. When it does, this time instead of blood coming out of the wound, it looks like frost goes down the length of the arrow. He falls back like he's gonna fall to the ground, and then his entire body freezes and shatters.
Terminator style.
So there's nothing left.
Chunks of ice.
And then I move. All right, so then I want to move. So 1, 2, 3. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
And then at the end of my move, can I take out my shield?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'm done.
All right. Ferr.
Let's see. I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I go here since the stew is?
Yes, you can.
Falling over.
The pot is tipped over and the stew's on the floor.
So I have advantage on A.
Correct.
That's sad.
And I'm gonna oops. I'm gonna do Divine Smite here with my sword now.
All right. Well, you rolled a hit. If you hit, then you choose the smite after that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hope luck turns around here.
You're standing in soup, I just want to say. Stew.
Good God. 11 on the first try.
11 misses.
Come on.
And it's the leftover stew that wasn't good enough for me.
13 also misses.
Unbelievable. I'm going to try a bonus action as well with my horns. Since I'm in range now.
Sure.
Did you
missed at this point?
15.
Were you rolling those with advantage?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't. I did not do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did roll. I rolled twice.
The 15 misses. So start with your first attack and just take your second attack roll.
All right.
So first attack with your sword.
Good God.
10 misses. Right. Okay.
Wow,
second attack with your sword.
You need to buy some new dice.
Mm-hmm.
They're mad at you because you don't have Vecna.
Need some Vecna dice.
That's right.
God. All right.
13 misses. Now with your horn gore attack.
19.
19 hits.
Do I roll twice on advantage for that, just in case?
Well, you rolled a 15 the first time.
Oh, okay.
For the gore attack.
Ferr was at the bar drinking, and he just like stumbles in with the whole.
I think you had too much.
All right, 6 points of melee with my horns.
All right.
At least I can contribute a tiny bit.
You can make that a smite if you want to do more damage.
I will save that for a sword, hopefully, if it comes around.
All right. Then is that your turn, Nate?
Yes.
All right. Cam
is going to pop out from behind the table.
Pop out.
Fire at figure A.
Pulp it.
Wait, hold on. I can do something.
Where is Poppet nowadays? I forget what happened to that little fella.
He's around.
Wait, did Dark Figure B die? Is he dead? Is he dead?
Yep.
He turned to ice and shattered.
Oh, I missed that whole thing. Wow. Shit. Okay.
23 to hit.
Hits.
Since I can't seem to be doing anything, I picked up some of that ice and put it in my drink, and I'm just
7 points of damage.
All right.
And I'm going to take my second attack. Natural 20.
Don't kill him, Cam.
Woot, woot.
I need to know where these bastards are from.
14 points of damage.
All right.
And she will duck back behind the table.
Okay.
That is my turn.
All right. That brings us to Gradduk.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay. Gradduk.
All right. Gradduk uses his great axe to swipe at the wrist of Dark Figure A to sever the hand.
Okay, so you'll have disadvantage.
It's a natural 20.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, disadvantage. I think you said disadvantage.
Well, I was going to say disadvantage to attack the hand, but he has advantage, so it's offset.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, 14 points of damage, swiping at the wrist to sever the hand.
You do. You bring Gradduk brings his axe down. The dark figure is not expecting that specific type of attack, and is caught
Neither is the
completely
GM.
unawares as his hand is sundered a twain from his body.
Does it
Now,
turn to ice
Twain.
and shatter?
His hand
Twain.
and the dagger both, when they hit the ground, shatter.
damn it.
Were you not paying attention to A?
Now
Well, I
you
thought
got
if he didn't
B.
die, I thought if he was still alive, maybe it would.
Now you got cold stew on the ground.
All right. How's he looking otherwise?
He looks hurt.
Minus a hand.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a hand. That looks painful, but he also looks hurt. Like,
Does that mean he can only use one dagger now?
Well, the other dagger
he was-
shattered on the floor.
he
But I
was
mean,
only-
he can only use one attack.
he was no. That's not how attacks work.
Hmm.
he only was using one dagger before. He's
Oh,
just
okay.
high level, so he got 3 attacks
Gotcha. I thought he had one in each hand. Gotcha.
and 3 hands.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No.
All right. Well, I take my great axe and try to swipe at the other hand, the other wrist.
Okay. That's disadvantage also.
All right.
So that they cancel each other out. You just get a
All
regular
right.
attack.
Well, that's a 12.
12 misses.
All right. And then frenzy attack. Same thing. Swiping at the wrist.
Okay.
And it's a natural 1.
That also misses, and Gradduk sticks his axe into the floor and actually has a little bit of difficulty pulling it back.
That is my turn.
All right. That brings us to Dark Figure A. He's full of holes, bleeding all over. His hand is missing. He digs in his cloak and produces a vial. He looks right at Eénsek and says, "Sleep with one eye open," pops the cork out of the bottle and drinks it. As he's drinking it, his entire body freezes and he shatters into ice.
Oh, snip.
And
I
that's
go-
the end of combat.
I was just going to say, I go, what the fuck? And we cut to commercial.
Sleep with one eye open.
All right, everyone. Well, that brings us to almost 3 hours total, not just for Legion's Quest, but total. So everybody okay with stopping here?
That was a good one.
Unless you got another cliffhanger type thing.
Yeah, a little.
Well,
I
this
mean,
is kind of the cliffhanger.
Okay.
There's
Who's-
nothing to there's normally you'd go through the bodies and
Loot.
try to take something, loot them, but there's nothing there. So except some ice cubes,
Right.
which we can all make some drinks with. But
Yeah,
cool.
Dark Elf
cool
goes
bonus.
good with, bourbon.
Some
They
good
weren't dark
elf.
elves. They weren't dark elves. They were frost elves.
Oh, that's
Frost
right.
elves.
Frost.
Yeah. Chili.
Mm.
Well,
Like to get another hand.
I mean, I will say, as a combination Legion's Quest, Legion's Lounge, this is a lot of fun. Hopefully, and a lot of people stuck with us. I know it's late for a Legion's Lounge,
Right.
but hopefully you got something out of
Too
this.
bad. It's not even 11 yet, so it's not terribly late.
Not too bad.
Says the teacher who's out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I say, hey,
That's right. We can go later now.
you gotta wake up till 11 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, go ahead, Joe. Take us out of here.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for watching another exciting episode of Legion's Quest. Of course,
Legion's
if
Lounge.
you like on Legion's Lounge, if you enjoyed this, definitely check out the page that's up for the official Mythic Legions role-playing game. This is the unofficial, but there is an official Mythic Legions role-playing game. So if you found this interesting, definitely check that out. And we hope to see you guys playing too in the future.
Yep, there it is. Coming soon. Keep an eye out. There's going to be some updates soon. If you want to be notified, you can go to the page and you can put your email address, first name, last name in there.
Curtis
Kickstarter
is waving
page.
again.
Kickstarter page will be starting at some point, and you want to be notified when that comes up. Put your name in there, and it's going to be cool. Yes, Curtis.
This is the moment of the show where I ask Joe the question that he laughs at me, where I say, "Did we happen to find any loot or gain a level?"
There's no loot.
What game do you
There's
think
ice.
you're playing? We don't do that here, Curtis. We don't do that here.
Ice as in diamonds?
You get
No,
nothing.
dice.
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir. If you're watching this on the replay, though, definitely put in the comments what your favorite part of the adventure was. Love to hear that.
and check it out, man. We're having a good time. I mean, you know us. I don't know. It's kind of fun to see us make idiots of ourselves with our voices and stuff like that. I really my entire thing here was I was going to put the disguise hat on and I was going to be Gradduk for the entire battle. But, motherfucker had to run away from me, like completely, like ignoring everything I said. But
Well,
whatever.
if
kind of the show.
Well,
if we're going behind the curtain a little bit, they were totally rogues, so they got a cunning action which allowed them to dash, disengage, or hide.
Yeah,
they were going to use their disengage and movement to get to Eénsek as quickly as possible, but
that's what I figured. I figured they're after me. Like if I look like Gradduk, they're not.
But when Gradduk ran into
but if he's
ran
near
into
me,
flank,
like which one of us is Gradduk? You know, like, but no, Gradduk's.
So
I'm gonna go in the middle of two guys that I got to battle and like.
yeah, because as the tank, unlike these other melee guys that want to throw their javelins.
I moved up as quickly as I could.
Set yourself up between them.
I go right to them,
on their attacks,
and they can't move out of my range without an opportunity attack, right? So I'm protecting you and allowing you to stay on your feet.
they actually could have disengaged. They had that ability. They just didn't use it.
We didn't know that they were rogues. You didn't tell us that.
Right.
Yeah.
But they didn't because they had
You never
advantage
know what you're
on
up
you, and
against.
that was too good of an opportunity to pass up.
And
You never know what
every
you're up
turn,
against.
although
There you
I
go.
missed every
Meat
single
shield.
thing I did move up, and eventually, with every move I could, I moved up.
And then eventually
Flanked.
missed on 6 attacks.
Yes, but because
I
of
wasn't
my,
dealing haymakers.
Curtis,
my
can you put your
crossbow,
hat and
I
glasses
would've
on
hit it
for a
right in the
second
back.
and just say, like, I'll throw the javelin for a minute?
It was like they were
You put
doing
the
the
hat
thing where
glasses
they're like holding Nate's head and he's swinging his arms. You can't get to him.
And
Yeah,
this goes
I was
back-
going to run into the mix, but the crossbow was working too well. I was like, hell, I'll just stick with this.
right.
But when I saw you go down, I was running in.
Yeah.
Ed's nice. $4. Thanks, man. Great episode. So much fun. Thanks to the Barbarian. Absolutely, man. You can thank Curtis too, because he contributed to that last show, our 100th show. And we did 2 Barbarians. I don't know if you won the first one or the second one, but that's cool. Yeah, rip Stu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Legion's
this
Lounge.
arguing about combat.
every other week show.
Arguing about combat is also as much a part of D&D as
Every other week.
scheduling problems. Yeah.
Yes, every other week, because if we went every week, we'd have to talk about waffles. So
And frozen hot dogs.
and frozen hot dogs.
Stop.
As much shit as I give them, I love these guys. All right, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. And
Can I
yeah,
make
Joe, take us
Can
out.
I make a
because it's-
quick
Yeah, go ahead.
announcement?
Yep.
Just thinking of scheduling. So Thursday is my typical Dork Lair day, but it's my daughter's birthday, so I'm going to be skipping this week.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do an impromptu thing Wednesday or something, but most likely not. Just
Does that mean an extra Legions, ladies? Tanya.
Speaking
It's
of
open.
which, Wednesday after Jeremy's show, Joe and I are doing a Star Trek First Contact review. So
Yes.
I
Check
love
out
that
the
movie.
disturbing thumbnail on YouTube.
it's a great thumbnail.
It's a really good thumbnail.
Yeah.
very disturbing.
I don't agree with Curtis often, but he got me on that one.
Yeah, I had dreamt about that last night. It wasn't good. It was a bad sleep.
Yeah.
Resistance
And,
is futile, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I think Old Man Kyle
Mustache-
is on
mustache
Legion's Lair tomorrow night.
He
I
is.
believe.
He is.
Oh
And
my
speaking
God,
of-
are you kidding me? Oh man,
Yeah.
OMK is
And
on.
speaking of Legion's
Wow.
Lair, those boys, Mike and Brad, are on Shooting the Shelf next Sunday.
Yay! All right.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about frozen waffles in your meat sticks and Arnold Schwarzenegger voices.
And the 5 words. So.
And speaking of Terrence's next toy with the $4.99 super chat, I was worried for Curtis how those elves were rolling. I've been catching up on the past Legion quests. Oh, good. Cool. Thanks, man.
That's awesome. Thanks, Terrence.
Terrence, who is a bartender, has a drink for us. He
He
sent it to me
does?
tonight, and I'm going to send it to you guys next week, and you can
sweet.
make it or not, and we'll or not next week because we go every other week.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks from now, we'll try that out. Maybe we'll have Terrence on to mix it for us. That'd be cool.
And
Beautiful.
I hope by this coming weekend, I'm going to be in person with our good friend Emil.
Nice. Yeah, forgot he's coming into the Americas. Yeah.
He's coming in for a week, and I've got a
Yes?
week off.
Staying at Shea Bouchatti's. Yeah.
He and his wife are coming in. His wife's never been to America. So
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They're coming to America and they're going to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Apparently, it's lovely during the summer. The lake is very nice.
Amazing.
The lake is beautiful, but I don't know. Okay. All right.
No Eddie Murphy in New York, but it'll do.
I'm an hour from New York
At
City.
least they know they won't hit any touristy things.
Well, except those salt piles. There's everybody's all over those things, man.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Thanks, everybody. Joe, take us out.
All right, everybody. Thanks
West,
for watching this episode of Legions Lounge featuring a Legions quest. If you enjoyed what you saw, you can find us on the Let's Go Offworld podcast channel on YouTube. We have a playlist. This was our 21st episode. Thanks for watching, everybody.
And year anniversary.
And a year anniversary.
1 year. 1 year. Took us a year to do 21 episodes.
Worked out great to have Bill with us for the anniversary.
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Chris can bust our balls next week.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Good night, everybody.
All right. Cheers.
Bye.